Woohoo! Oh yeah, no big opening for me, by the way. Howdy and aloha, everybody. This is Jim with Monotalk. Thank you all for being here, if anybody's here. Just want to let you know that later I'll be going, or you guys can hang out here or whatever. Actually, I'll be going and hanging out with Evan tonight, unless he's okay with me just continuing for the rest of the night. Up to him. Doesn't matter. Eben Kim, by the way. That's Tequila Mockingbird. He has his own YouTube channel. He'll be talking about pretty much the same things I'll be talking about. But again, hello, aloha, everyone, to Monotalk or James Monotalk. I got to fix the title of what I got. I'm new at this, by the way. Yeah, I'm good at babbling, though. I can tell you that. So, a lot of things happened today. I'm seeing a lot of independent media putting up their take on what's going on in regards to net neutrality. Ajit Pai, Jessica Bajurkadal, and a bunch of people out there that are doing a lot to try to save net neutrality that was not saved. What does this mean for you? Just in case you want to know, let's just say it's a highway. All right, there's a slow lane, there's a faster lane, there's a much faster lane, there's the fastest lane of all, and then there's the carpool lane that has unlimited amount of speed. Well, now you're going to have to pay to be in that super fast lane. Now only Verizon, uh, Comcast, Time Warner, all the major cable companies that are out there now that already have a hold of your media, and there's only 6 of them out there, by the way. 6 major media outlets. There used to be about 52 in the 70s. Now it's down to 6. They've all been bought up. Mergers and acquisitions. Pretty Woman. Basically, the richer are getting richer. The way it's been set up in regards to, we could start at the estate tax. Look at Paris Hilton. When everybody leaves that family and goes to heaven or hell, probably hell. Or if Trump and everybody leaves that family and goes to heaven or hell, Barron for the Trump family gets everything and doesn't have to pay any taxes on it. The Hilton, same thing. No taxes on anything. So it just gets really bad. Oh, hey, Cheryl. Aloha. Um, so honestly, it's just gotten worse. And I think it started in the early 80s. And it's just been getting worse and worse for a lot of people that are the 99%. The 1% have astronomically gotten extremely richer, and they've gained so much power. Just a small group of people, and there's one person, I think, in the United States that holds more wealth than I think 2/3 of the people in the United States, which is just crazy. And I mean, what do you do with all that money? Let me just ask this. I just gotta have to ask this question. Okay, you've already got NDAA, National Defense Amendment Act, or whatever the fuck that was. So you're already limiting us, so we can't be tried in court if you say we're terrorists. You've already got us to where it's a police state, and all your cops in your city and state and cops can kill at will, and nobody's getting punished for it. Like last year, over 1,200 deaths, the major majority of them were black, were killed by police officers, and not one of them was convicted of manslaughter or anything. So the police states here, A tyrannical fascism is definitely in place. They've on the street level, out there in the streets. It's also now, because of net neutrality, it's in our internet. It's in there now. It's in. So they start with this. They'll add more. You may not be able to see or do what you think you need to do or want to do unless you pay toll to the troll. You know, in order to cross the bridge, you're going to have to pay toll to the troll. You know, you're going to have to pay your tolls for everything. It's becoming so privatized. The FCC is not an FCC. It's the Federal Communications Committee, I think, is nothing but a front for the 1%. The FDA has become somewhat of the same thing. Rainbow Boombox, what's up, brother or sister? Sorry, I don't know if you're a girl or a boy. I'm bad. Just let me know and I'll address you properly. I just not paying attention, but I apologize. But it's really getting bad. And if you truly and absolutely believe it's just the Republicans, then you're completely and absolutely just the stupidest person on the face of the earth. Period. Because net neutrality, by the way, and here's something I would love you to see, and I'm very sure this is correct. Okay, there were some Democrats that actually were a part of um, uh, voting yay and not nay on repealing net neutrality. And you can barely see that, I know, and I can't really make it bigger. It's kind of stupid, but that is a ledger of all of the people that were given money by telecommunications companies. And if we can check, I don't know if I can make it much bigger, but I can read it from here. So down here, I don't know if you can see my cursor, but it says Debbie Wasserman Schultz, telecommunications industry 453. Okay. Yay or nay? Yay. Okay. But here's the thing. A lot of these people, whether they're Democrats or they're Republicans, a lot of yays for the Republicans, no doubt. Another yay Republican, nay Democrat, nay Democrat. Okay, that's fine. Republican, nay Democrat. The list is a little bit longer than this, but I need to let you know something. When you look at this and you see the amount of money that's sent to these people to sway their position, it's you have to know, even though these companies sent this money, it's a gamble for them. Well, it's actually their um, it's their bribe, basically, to try to bribe them to go in their direction. If they don't, what's $1.2 million? What's $500,000 for them? It ain't shit when it comes to throwing it at a legislator, making law, or et cetera, et cetera. But I'm sorry you can't see that very well, but that's circulating out there. Now, whether they voted yay or nay, and whether they're Republican or not, they're still getting this money. You guys need to understand that. And I think a lot of people don't understand what that truly means. So if I want somebody to go in the direction that I want them to go, and I send them $500,000, and which maybe one day I might have $500,000. Hopefully, I won't have to use them that way. Hopefully, I can use it for green technology and saving the earth and doing some things that could really be fucking productive. But anyway, and I wanted to send some money to a legislator, right? Because I'm a rich, fucking greedy bastard, blah, 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 blah. I don't give a shit about any but myself and my bank account and my yachts and my properties and my shopping malls and my companies and my businesses and my oil and my big pharma, my nuclear plants, blah, blah, blah. The list goes on and on and on, of course. So, what I'm saying is, if I wanted to send 500,000 and the other side sends them 300,000 to the person that I'm trying to get that person to go to my side, and they still take my money, but they vote against me, how much, how, okay, do you believe that that person will cause a ruckus? In other words, do you believe that that person that received the 500,000, or that legislator that received that 500,000, and only that, but actually voted for the person that sent 300,000 because maybe their constituents or the voting republic, or there were protests, or just a lot of pressure, they might lose their vote, decided to not to? Do you believe that person will do anything other than just vote? Other than just do the yay or the nay for it or against it? What I'm getting at is, when net neutrality first came up, okay, I did not see any Republican, Democrats, legislators doing anything. They weren't, I mean, when it came to the gun situation, they all had caviar and camped overnight in Congress, and, it was fucking a joke. And that didn't really do anything anyway. Um, but what I'm saying is, even though they're voting for it, they're not doing much about it. You see what I'm saying? It's like they understand they have enough votes. The only time that they will do something against the grain is if you might get a few Democrats that might, like, for example, single payer, and Renton and Jerry Brown over here in California. They were given money. There's a money trail. So what happens is, they voted against single payer in California, but there's only a few of them that had to make that sacrifice. But it still made the rest of the Democratic Party look good, because they all voted yes for single payer, but only a few looked like dickheads. Do you see what I'm saying? So if it comes down to that, they throw out their sacrificial lambs, that I call them, if it gets to the point where there is a tug of war on the voting process, the majority vote, um, then they will float out some sacrificial lambs. But otherwise, they don't do anything. There was a there was not a giant push. There was no media, and Jimmy Dore and H.A. Goodman and Same Progressive and Steve Grombine, real progressive, and Nico House and Jamal Thomas was progressive soapbox, and Holly Seeliger, and with Zone Politicon, um, and Hard Bastard, and all these outlets, and We Are Change, Secular Talk, possibly, maybe, didn't. Um, they actually indicated that there was nothing being done. I think that I was trying to get to that. They actually indicated that nothing was being done by the Republicans. Excuse me, by the Democrats. I think I just lost my train of thought. But what I'm getting to, it's really simple. They are not doing anything for your best interest. In other words, there is a two-party oligarchy. It's just two parties running the show, and they do it in a certain way to make it appear like they're in your best interest, but they're not doing anything in your best interest. When it comes right down to it, they're still going to screw you. Okay? They're still gonna to mess you up. And what a lot of people really don't get is, and I always stress this tremendously, is that as long as you have these two parties that are receiving countless amounts of money, if you saw the amount of money that I saw in that ledger, which you probably couldn't even read, that's nothing. That's nothing. They're given millions of dollars a year. millions for their campaigns. Some of the money is untraceable. I mean, No Minky Kongs just said that there was, I don't know, what was it, a few $1,000,000 or 500 million or just a great ton of money that was totally unaccounted for, that went to 5 consultants with the Democratic Party. You know, and by the way, so I'm sorry, I kind of lost my train of thought on that, but I'm really trying to get everyone to understand that there is no third party that can bring these two in check. There is not two parties. It's one party posing as two. Do you get it? Please, I hope you guys understand this. Yeah. So, oh, hey Stevie. Hi everyone. Hello. Okay, so in any way, for anything that's out there's nothing they have done substantially to do anything. I mean, the tax bill. The only person that I actually saw talking about the tax bill or noticed was Elizabeth Warren, because they probably said, you know what, send Elizabeth out there to bitch and complain about it. Nobody else though. Nobody else. You know, but let's just say if every single Democrat that voted nay in net neutrality actually took the money that they have, took the time that they have, hey Zoxbox, and took all of their energy and effort and dropped Russia, that fucking stupid shit Russia, that's turning that in my opinion is turning into the biggest fucking fiasco I've ever seen. And I don't want to go, but they never did anything. None of these people are doing anything. They won't get off Russia. Now the Democrats, or Dumbocrats I call them, now they're going towards sexual harassment cases because they're losing their hold on Russia. And it's just getting worse and worse and worse. I mean, Trey Gowdy,
that is pending in Congress, gun violence, the opioid epidemic, criminal justice reform.
Totally tore up
for Donald Trump. This is the conflict of interest free special agent assigned. And then he went on, if that weren't enough, to belittle Trump supporters by saying he could smell them at a Walmart in Virginia. And this is the person we needed to avoid a conflict of interest. And then he said this: they fully deserve to go and demonstrate the absolute bigoted nonsense of Trump. But he wasn't content to just disparage Donald Trump. He had to disparage Donald Trump's family. This is what he said, Mr. Deputy Attorney General. He said the douchebags are about to come out. He's talking about our First Lady and children, this conflict of interest-free special agent of the FBI. This is who we were told we needed to have an objective, impartial, fair, conflict of interest-free investigation. So he's openly pulling for the candidate he had a role in clearing, and he's openly investigating a candidate that he has bias against. And then if that's not enough, he says Trump is an effing idiot. What the F just happened to our country? This is the same man that said he would save our country. What happens when people who are supposed to cure the conflict of interest have even greater conflicts of interest than those they replace?
Yeah, so and this, what I'm seeing here, and you know, and I'm not a Trey Gowdy fan, because the guy, you know, he's got great points though. You know, the guy has great points. Hey, Mary Stanford. Good evening, beautiful people. Well, good evening to you, and welcome to Montauk, James Montauk. And but he's got a good point. So the DOJ, they appoint this guy. He's already got tremendous amount of conflict of interest against Trump, and they're saying that he doesn't. And it's just been a fucking joke. That whole thing has been a total and complete joke. Fucking joke. Russia's been a joke, but they've been concentrating on that. They mentioned, I think Rachel Maddow spent like 3 minutes on net neutrality, but spent a whole 45 on the Russia conflicts every fucking day. Okay? Stuff that means nothing. So what if the Russians colluded to help fucking, in some way, shape, or form, to help Hillary Clinton lose, or help Trump win and help Hillary Clinton lose? What does that do? I mean, who the fuck cares? I mean, the thing is even if they did something, for one, it makes our system look, our security system look like shit. Because who was in power at the time? Obama. So what does that say about Obama and our system and our security? Right? For two, it exposes what? It exposes what? Nothing. What does it expose? They didn't have access to polling machines or voting machines. Their biggest thing is that there was some kind of, they got, the only thing they think they have is Facebook and Twitter and social media, and they had people out there saying a bunch of crap about Hillary. We were already doing that. Nobody fucking likes her. That's been, you know, so instead of doing what they're supposed to be doing and looking out for your best interest, especially net neutrality, By the way, you're fucked. I don't know when everything's implemented. I don't know how it's going to affect YouTube. I don't know how it's going to affect live streams. I don't know how it's going to affect this show or Jamal's or Tim Black's or whoever's. You know, hey Rebel, how you doing? But it's going to affect small companies. It's going to affect so many people out there. It's going to put a stranglehold on you, and they knew the repercussions of this. But Comcast owns MSNBC, right? Verizon, Comcast, Time Warner. I mean, this is a major fucking win for these fucking assholes. And now they have our internet. You know, what I was getting to, the FCC, the FDA, the CDC. I don't see them doing anything for us anymore. They let you eat shit. They let you breathe shit. They let you ingest shit. They're bought and owned by the 1%. You know, when I hear people, I heard this today. You know, the government's gonna screw you on net neutrality. And this person at my work explained it very well. But the problem is she was saying it's the government. No, it's the people that control the government, or the people that control the Dumbocrats, the Republicans. Okay, if you're a Democrat and you vote Democratic, that's you. That's fine. If you're a Republican and you vote Republican, that's fine. But what I call Dumbocrats and Republicans are part of the two-party oligarchy. These are fucking dumb puppets with these fucking with these hands up their asses people, because they're bathing in donations, going back to the money that they're getting from the telecommunications company. Are you getting this now? So what I'm saying to you is, it's not the government, it's the people in the government that have become so greedy, so corrupted, so criminalistic. They're all thugs. It's become a giant mafia. Actually, it's worse than the mafia. It's worse than the mafia. It's become a, I don't even know how to say it. It's like a syndicate, like a, I mean, you know, they create and start wars, they instigate, you know, the new economy now. What is the new economy? War. War. Because Lockheed Martin, you know, and Boeing and all these companies and all these little companies that that provide parts and this and this and that, which is people need to make money. I understand that. But if you're doing it to kill for the new economy of killing, oh, we just made a new Sidewinder missile. Well, that's good, because guess what that thing's going to do? Guess what that thing is going to do? All right, who else are you? Rebel. Mary Stanford. Oh, I got a bingo. Bingo! Thank you very much, Mary. It's a bingo. They're all in this together. It's the government was created by our forefathers a certain way, but ever since the 80s, they've twisted it and turned it and created these new laws, and they've made it harder. You know that you used to be able to address Congress by walking in the front door. You'd stand in line, but you could address Congress. Guess what you have to do now? You have to be a major lobbying body with a major group of people. Nobody says it, with a fucking shit ton of money to even get an email to somebody. Now, we have lost the voting republic of the United States has lost their ability to control their government. If you think your votes mean shit, what happened with Bernie in the primary? That is a clearest indication that you don't have any more control. You don't have control of who's going to go up for the general. I'm sorry, you don't. If you think you do, you're sadly mistaken. Okay, I'm going to read these guys. Okay, we're all pawns in their sick game. Wow, Mary, brilliant. Thank you, God. And thank you for giving me something to work off of. Fantastic. And I keep bringing this up. And I want to bring this up. Who agrees with this? Any party litmus test, and what should be priority? What should be priority? Campaign finance reform, remove Citizens United, and the McCutcheon versus FEC. Just get rid of it. Net neutrality, support net neutrality, free the internet. Whoop, I better check that out because that's fucking gone. I made this a month or so ago, or just a few weeks ago. Make one state election holiday and one federal election holiday to vote per year, and no more super delegates. Yeah, the electoral college process. Everybody says, "Oh, we have to." No, you don't. Fuck you don't. You can use an eraser board, okay, to count this shit. All right, stop being fucking stupid. An eraser board. That'd be funny. Single payer universal health care, Medi-Cal for all. Of course. This is the litmus test. They've got to start doing this. We need to demand these things. And we need to band together to have it done now. Or at least hopefully the Green Party will be in this direction. This is their litmus test, in my opinion. If they're not in this direction, this isn't good. And I want you guys to read this if you can. It's on YouTube, by the way. So what's going on with Senator? And I mean, that fucking fiasco in Alabama with Roy Moore. God, what a fucking fiasco that was. All right, so let's go back to this. All right. Against endless war and the MIC spending. In other words, we just paid $689 billion for the defense, when just a month or two ago, we already gave the Saudis $110 billion for weapons. And of course, we're still supporting so many countries out there that are for, I make my quote unquote, for our interests, right? No, bullshit. All right. Anyway, so I'll try to do this faster. Ranked choice voting, of course. But how is that going to happen? With these two parties, not going to happen. And I'll get to that. Actually, every time I say this, I should say with these two parties. Campaign finance reform. These two parties, not going to happen. Sport net neutrality. With these two parties, not going to happen. Make one state holiday, one state federal holiday for voting. No super delegates. With these two parties, not going to happen. Single payer universal health care, Medicare for all. For these two parties, not going to happen. Support minimum wage. Set it at 17 an hour because 15 is long gone. By the time 15 comes around, it'll feel like fucking $8 an hour. I'm telling you right now. Okay, so who's going to support that? Not these two parties. Okay, not the Republicans, not the fucking Dumbocrats. Okay, ranked choice voting. You know who's going to support that? Not these fucking two parties. Support taking actual care of the troops and their families. This is huge to me because I was in fucking. When I was in the Navy, I had to go I had WIC, I had food stamps. I had to fucking do whatever I could because it was tough, and they're still going through that now. That hasn't been raised, that hasn't been fixed. But who's going to fix it? Not these two parties. They'll rather build a $2 million bomb or a $500,000 sidewinder or whatever than give that money to some people that are actually defending the country from all those friends that we've made. All of those wonderful friends that we've made all over the world for the past, I don't know how many years. So out of the 241 years that we have been a nation, 222 going on 223 years, we have killed over 20 million people and victimized 37 plus countries. Okay? Who's going to stop that? Not these two parties. Not these two parties. Okay, so let me see. Support taking action to care of the troops. Okay, corporations are not people. Not these two parties. They're not people. Maybe the Dems, but it's bullshit. They're not gonna. They're just gonna give you shit anyway. Okay, so legalize marijuana. Yeah, fucking yeah. Who's gonna do this? Probably not these two parties. Okay, it's just gonna flop around in Congress and flop around and go back and forth and flop around, and I'm just same old same old. These two parties are just the same old shit, and you're just gonna fucking get it every fucking 2 to 4 years. Same old shit. I'm telling you right now. And if you don't fucking believe me, it's already been happening for the past like 30 years. Okay, anyway. All right, so corporate people support free daycare to working families and free education at community colleges and erase student debt. Of course. Is that going to happen with these two parties? Nope. Okay. Anytime soon? Nope. Okay. They might do something close, but they still want the banks to get their money. They want to erase their debt. I know that. Oh, what party wants that? Oh, Green Party. Ooh. I'll get to that in a second. Okay, support legalizing marijuana. No more privatized prisons and the restore voting rights to drug offenders that have paid their debts financially and with their time. Fuck yeah. You go to fucking jail because you got caught with a joint? Fucking stupid. All right, so support tax on Wall Street trading on trading. Tax per amount moved electronically or any other manner sought. So if you're moving money in a horrendous amount, you're going to have to pay tax on doing that. It's all right. You're going to have to pay a tax on it. This fucking Wall Street freebie shit has got to go. There's actually an info. Peekaboo. What's up? Okay. All right. Also, Wall Street support public education growth, bringing back the arts. Fuck yeah. I mean, when you're seeing bands struggle, music struggle, sailing classes struggle, art classes struggle, music struggling, but gotta have your football. Gotta have your football. Come on, man. Fuck. And that just comes with restoring education and public education and stop making it and stop privatizing, which they're doing. I mean, who's the governor of New York, or was it Chicago? What was that fucking weasel's name? He's supposedly Democratic, but he's an ex-mob guy. I forgot his. Anyway, it'll come to me. File monkeys. Period. I got 5 fucking fucked up file monkeys. Anyway, what is it? Tax and policy, public education, growth back in support high tax rate for the 5% or the 1%ers. Tax increase, I think it's at 33 or 35 now. I'm only saying 40, 45, 50. It used to be a hell of a lot more back in the 1920s, 30s, 40s, and everybody was doing fine. Henry Ford who created the Ford automobile, was totally for him being taxed, so that the people that were taxed high, the people that were taxed, so that people could afford his machine. You know, Snark. I still owe $300 on my late wife's master's degree. You know, fuck. That's terrible, Snark. All right, so let me see. Support enforcement and expansion of antitrust laws. There you go. Bring back Glass-Steagall for sure. Fuck. You know, the housing crisis, the bubble, it's coming. Whether you think so, the same signs happened right about this time in 2007. I'm seeing the same signs. I'm starting to see things kind of come to a squeak when it comes to lending. It's getting kind of stiff out there, and I think it's going to blow up. Maybe I'm just, but it really seems, and we're getting that from everybody. Hey, Jenny Lynn, how are you? Jay Scott, what's up, bro? There used to be a 90% tax rate. 90% tax rate? Fucking shit. That's what I thought. Oh my God. Thank you guys. God, see, it's so good to have the galley out here, the live chat. They help my brain because my brain just doesn't work sometimes. Okay, peekaboo. All right, so here we go. This is sorry guys, this is so fucking stupid, but I gotta bring this shit up. This is my litmus test. Okay, so support enforcement expansion of antitrust laws, Glass-Steagall against the Patriot Act, NDA, and all privacies and rights that have been stripped from the U.S. voting republic. Civil liberties, okay? In other words, stop being fucking fascist, tyrannical, crazy fucks out there. No due process, you know? My God. If they, I could be labeled after this. They could just say, oh, you know what? You're a terrorist. You're going to Guantanamo, buddy. It's like, fucking Jesus, man. They can do that to anybody. Anybody. They can just pick you. I don't like that guy. Guantanamo. Jesus, fuck, right? Support enforcement expansion. Okay, I already did it. Sorry. Against Trans-Pacific Partnership. That's a fucking nightmare. Obama was all over that. Right? All over that. Okay. Obama was all over the Trans-Pacific Partnership. What a fucking joke that was. And he helped XL Pipeline go through. By the way, Obama refined and created and drilled more oil wells than any president in our history. What the fuck? While he was doing this, okay, he was doing this to you in the back. Okay? While he was doing this, right? He was doing this to you in the back. All the fucking time. Most of you didn't even realize it. Peekaboo. I should call this my peekaboo segment. Which one? Add which one? Shit. Which one are you talking about? Smoke, add that one. Headset. If anyone, including governor, virtual sort of any person, any kind enters your home with that, you can blow their head off at that. That would be a good one. You can't. Zox, you can't. I'm sorry. You'd be labeled a terrorist. The resistance is futile. Mary Sanford. FYI, James. I'm a fellow HB. Oh, Mary, you're an HB. What's up, girl? That's awesome. That's awesome. That is so cool. I got a local. A neighbor. What's up, neighbor? Oh my God, so good to see you. All right, in Huntington Beach. All right, that's stupid. All right, so expansion, NDAA, transfer, right to work. How does that even exist? You can't go talk with your other coworkers, form a union. You know, Home Depot. I used to work there. They fucking hated people just if they saw more than two or three people getting together, they automatically would send a manager to come and talk to you. They would send a manager to come and break it up because they think you're forming a union. That happens at Walmart too. Okay, because Walmart's doing so well for all their employees. All right, time's moving here. All right, there we go. Remove right to work. Yes, of course. Now, UBI is going to be needed, whether you think so or not. Support universal basic income and guaranteed work. When everything's automated, when you can't drive a truck anymore, when everything's delivered by whatever means they have, electronical things, you know, electronical stuff out there, moving stuff. That was a terrible robot. I'm better than that. I'm better than that. I'm saying right now, there's going to be a lot of people out of work. And I'm not just talking about drivers, I'm talking about warehouse workers. If you've seen eBay, if you've seen Amazon at work, if you've seen these giant warehouses, they're just enormous with these robots that move everywhere, that move product here and there. I mean, there's a delivery driver that there's delivery drivers that actually do groceries around here, which I never fucking use and I should. Just because the grocery store seems like such a pain. And you ever seen the movie Wall-E? Oh my God, that's what's happening to me right now. All I need is my reclining chair, right, and my drink and my food and my fucking, you know, God. All right, I am definitely gonna. I did 80 push-ups today. 80 push-ups, just letting you know. But I need to do a hell of a lot more. I got to get back in my groove. All right. UBI, definitely we need to have that. Hawaii's already working on that. Support fair immigration reform to other nations and people and a faster path to citizenship. So immigration reform, gone. Oh, yeah, let's just build a wall. Let's build a wall. I mean, there are places in Europe where you can see a line painted between in a cafe. That part of the cafe is has people sitting, and the other part has another people sitting in another country. But they're all just having fucking lunch together, you assholes. What the fuck? You know? They're having lunch together. No, let's just shoot them all. Shoot them all. Right? God. Right, sorry. All right, Jenny, we'll see how much Americans truly love freedom. Yeah, it's going to get taken away soon, girl. Then have no use for us. Pretty much. Okay, UBI, fair immigration, GMO. Oh, this is huge. Against this party that's coming up better be against GMOs, pesticides, and we need to hold Monsanto and alike accountable for acts of death and sickness across the U.S. Fuck yeah, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. There is no FDA, there's no Food and Drug Administration. All that exists is tobacco firearms. They really know how to do their job. I'm telling you right now. Support and give farmers incentives to grow organic. Fuck yes. Support affordable food, products, services for all. Price gouging will be against the law and punishable by law. Yeah, affordable food, products, and services for all. Price gouging, taking advantage of people. I want people to make their money. I want you to provide a service. I'll give you an example. Recently at our work, the place that was built, we found out that the guy charged astronomical amounts of money, did a shitty job. Now the guy's being sued, I believe. Thank the gods, you know. But people get taken advantage of all the time, and this is really just got to stop. You know, I've seen contractors take down. I've seen solar companies take down payments to install solar of $10, $15, $20,000, and these giant corporations, and leave. That should be that's stealing. You should go to jail for that. Period. If it's proven that you didn't provide the service that you didn't abide by the contract, and you took somebody's money, then you should just go to jail. Period. So we need some tougher laws in regards to that. Food shouldn't be $1,000 to buy fucking a basket full of groceries, etc. No more price gouging, especially with gas, which hopefully won't need soon. We need to get rid of that. Support to give farmers incentives to grow organic. We got that. Support affordable food. Okay, got that. Support Second Amendment rights with training, licensing, and deeper psychological and criminal background checks for those that want to purchase semi-automatic guns. Now, this is where you might not like me, but I am not a super advocate of the Second Amendment, but I am not against it. I am against people that are crazy or have a serious background of criminality, or they're felons or something heinous, that they're able to buy weapons. I am against gun shows and parking lot deals. And have you ever been to a gun show? Wetware just isn't durable enough sexually for robots to enjoy. Oh, okay. Snort. Snort. Fuck. All right. So, I kind of threw me up. So, there are just so many. Oh, I got to get moving here. Okay. So, there are so many ways I believe we can kind of fix what's going on in regards to guns. I think you should be responsible for your gun completely. So, if you do purchase a gun, you are responsible for it. So if it gets stolen, you're responsible for that. So it shouldn't. I mean, just yesterday or this morning, a family and a kid took a kid that was 14 or 15, grabbed his dad's gun, and took it to school to show everybody. Well, the dad, I think he can get up to a year and a half in prison. And I think that's fine. Because if you're an idiot father and you leave your gun sitting out so that your children can grab it and shoot people or hurt themselves or something terrible, then there has to be, for one, just like a license, there's training, and there should be training when you buy a gun. I truly believe that. I say if you purchase a gun, and if you've never had one before, the gun you buy, you should be trained on it. I don't think you should own a 300 mag. If you've seen one of those, it's a fucking beast of a gun. I've shot a few of those. Or a Mossberg or a Spa, a 12 gauge. If you've seen one or if you've shot one, they're brutal. Or a fucking 45. You have to really know how to handle these fucking monsters. A 30-06, there's some big fucking guns, double barrel shotguns. You have to be trained to operate these things, and you should. I'm not against hunting. I'm not against going out and going to the practice range. I'm not against you being able to protect yourself from aliens or crazy governments. But what I am afraid of is you just not being able to be responsible with your guns. Okay, and if you need to be trained for it, you should. Okay, back to this. So there needs to be some just different. We need to all come together on that. All right. Against too big to fail banks, break them up. Post offices to become banking, U.S. small loans, DMV, Social Security office, all at the same place. Government like Walmart's. Why is the Social Security office far away from the DMV office? Why can't you get your Social Security card and your driver's license at the same place? Why can't you get all these services at the same fucking place and just have one place you can go to? Or there's, you know what? those systems are stupid anyway. There's other ways of doing it that could be a lot faster. All right, and I'm almost over because this is kind of getting old. I'm getting it. Stand your ground. Oh my God. That is the biggest white man's fucking I'm scared of you because you're brown law I've ever noticed or seen in my life. What the fuck was that guy's name? Trayvon, Churl, who was it? Trayvon Martin, right? Shot by a fucking, that sick fuck who's been to jail like several times already. He was in a hoodie, eating some Skittles, went through an apartment complex. This idiot went and shoots him. And this has happened several times. So that needs to be stupidly and terribly fucking removed against the growth of current tyrannical police state. Oh, this is huge too. This has to do with what I was talking before. This should go up towards where it says get rid of the NDAA and the Patriot Act and all this other shit that's, they say they're protecting us, but they're really spying on us. If they really wanted to spy on you, they have the technology to do it. Okay? I'm just telling you right now. And they should get court orders. And it should be, and if you want to fight against it, you should be able to fight against it. That's what I think. So if you want to spy on me, you need to say, hey, I want to spy on you. And then, I don't know. It's kind of weird when it comes to security. We really have to protect ourselves. We'll get to that later. Support LGBTQ, Planned Parenthood, Black Lives Matter, pro-choice, support a full, unbiased investigation of 9/11. I want this. This is what I really want. And so-called terrorist attacks in the past 20 years. I really want, Trayvon Martin. Thank you very much, Rebel. But I really, really want and must have a thorough and unbiased. Oh, not only 9/11, I need to add in there Fukushima. Hello, Hawaii. How are you? Hawaii. Hello, it's 9 o'clock, by the way. And I want Fukushima to be investigated for sure by a fucking crew of people. I want Snork to go there. No, I don't want Snork to go there. Snork, I want you to live. So I don't know if I want you to go there. But anyway. Matt Halakitro. Oh, Martin. Trayvon Martin. Thank you, brother. Good job. All right, so all this is a good litmus test. Can you guys think of anything else that should go on there? Somebody said a few things, and I forgot to put it on here. Because I'm going to add and fix this, and I'm going to kind of condense it so it looks more condensed. But let's just say this. And then I'm going to go, probe must go back at least as far as 1972. Are you talking about Fukushima? Okay. So what I'm saying is if there is a new party that's coming up, I think the majority of the country wants all that. I mean, at least over 51%. Am I correct? Definitely no more wars. I think it's like 60, 70%. And I mean, remember the cry out, no more wars, bring our troops home. And we finally started to. But now they're killing and maiming in different ways now. It's kind of crazy. All right, because it's all about Russia, 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 Russia. Don't get me started on Yemen or Syria. It's just terrible. Anyway, let me see what's going on if what's his name is doing his thing. Oh, I wanted to say one thing real quick. Okay. So, and then I'm gonna go because I think Eben's having a show. I guess he's just having a show. Okay, so if you look over here, let's go here. I'm gonna show you this. Now this is Jimmy Dore, or actually this was on Jamal. Jamal did a great job. Jamal, you are a fucking genius, bro. You are on so much of the same page as myself. It's amazing. We're so close. A lot of us are, man. We all get it, bro. We're just trying to make sense of the chaos that's out there, the circus that surrounds us. We're trying so hard to just fit these pieces together to where it can actually have some kind of sensibility to where we can cling on to something, but that's not going to happen. They don't want it to happen. They're going to keep you dazed and confused as long as they can, and then they'll let the fear. They use joy and pain. It's a marketing tool, bro. I'm telling you, it's a marketing tool, and they'll get you to go in the direction they want you to. So let me just show you what this right here. So what happens? I'm just going to play this real quick.
Good. All right. So let's flip this over to Nomiki Konst.
Nomiki Konst, that's her name.
Giving Jimmy Dore the euphoric argument of Dementor. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, the first one, she's going to rehabilitate Donna Brazile. She's starting off right going for the gusto. We need to rehabilitate Donna Brazile. I think Donna Brazile's awesome.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Let's take a watch.
Listen, this is fucking...
Welcome to part 2 of our interview with Nomi Konst, who was a progressive fighter on the Democratic Unity Commission. So do you think this is a real revolution inside the
just Jimmy, bro, you just fucking stop stroking the fucking Dems. I know Jank is whipping you or spanking you, or maybe you like it, I don't know. But just get away from the more you hang out with these people, the more their stench and their filth gets on you. The more of it gets on you. I'm telling you, Jimmy, just get away from these guys.
Democratic Party right now?
I think that, I know you challenged Donna Brazile, but I got a text message from Donna Brazile when it was all happening, and she said, it's been cracked open, there's no turning back. And I think...
Whoa, it's been cracked open. Now, Jamal didn't stop it here. And the reason why I'm stopping it here, because I think it's important to know, that text is a personal text to her during the time when she fucking blew up. So what that means is that she just narked on Donna. Do you guys understand that? She just fucking opened that Pandora's box. Donna's got a Pandora's box. She lifts it up every once in a while and lets shit out. I think it's her subconscious, honestly. I think it's that she wants to be more open. She's tired of the collusion and the corruption and disgust. I think she just wants to explode. I think if somebody gets her in a real fucking interview, not the one this chick fucking had with her, but fucking me, let me talk to Donna. I would love to talk to Donna. Well, Donna, I do understand that in your book and that you've been under the microphone. Let me show you some things that you wrote. Let me show some of the times when you were palling around with some Republicans and you had some interesting encounters with people, and that you Jordan Sheraton from PYT got you in a pretty bad moment, and that WikiLeaks is clearly showing. I mean, is this really you? Did you really send that? Did you send that beforehand? It's just a yes or a no. I know. Just let us know. I mean, there's 300 million plus people out there that just want to know the truth. We just want to know the truth, Donna. Can you just tell us the truth? Yes, I did it. I did it. We're not getting that. You can't. None of these fucking people get into these fuckers' heads. You know who used to get in people's heads? Phil Donahue. That guy used to get in somebody's head. Who was that guy that used to do... fuck. Okay, I got to go to this. Anyway, so about this, just letting you know... I
think that's actually true.
Okay.
One thing I learned about Donna Brazile that you may not be aware of is that they were signing checks around her back. They weren't going to her. And you look at the...
Okay. So one thing I know about Donna Brazile, now she just realized that she just fucking opened a little Pandora's box on Donna. Do you guys get that? Woo! Okay, so the Democrats keep shooting themselves in the fucking foot, in the leg, in the arm. They're getting closer to the heart here pretty soon. But anyway, they just need to go away. And Jimmy, please get away from them. Tim Black, don't go over there. Secular talk, you're an idiot for even just hanging around these guys. There's a guy, We Are Change. I don't think he's what the fuck is his name? But anyway, Humanist Report. Don't go there, bro. Don't go there. Tony, is that his name? What's his name? Tony Sugliano? I keep forgetting his name. But don't stick up for these fucks. You know, uh, uh, Derek Crow, I know you came on, you're a Justice Democrat, you're real progressive, but this party is about to go down. You know, Vanessa, I know you just pulled away from the Green Party. This party is about to just fully implode. Shit's getting bad for them, and you don't want to be around it when it happens. So separate yourself, because I did. I saw the signs a long fucking time ago, right? I saw it a long time ago. I'm sorry, I'm not reading your stuff. My bad. Oh shit, I gotta go. Hold on. Transition. But you guys see that she backtracked on a lot of the stuff she said when she blew up and said the F word in front of all these members, right? She fucking backtracked. And I can see the look on Jimmy's face. It's like, oh, this is kind of priceless. Hang on. You can see the look on Jimmy's face. Oh, man, should I be doing this? You know, she's just not, I don't know. It's just like, this is just not right. Or something. I'm just trying to figure out what that look is. Mike Figueroa, thank you very much, Stevie. You're fantastic. Stevie, you're the best. The best a man can get. Okay. Yeah, he's just like, it's like you just fucking opened Pandora's box, man. Way to go. So anyway, let me go see if Evan's starting to show, and if he is, then I'm gonna move and groove. Give me a second, people. My apologies. If not, then I'm just gonna keep going, and I'll just let everybody jump on and go for a ride. Let me see, where's he at? Because he wants to talk about net neutrality. Is he talking about net neutrality? Evan. Oh, maybe he is. No, I don't see anything. Videos, sorry. Give me a second, my apologies. Okay, he's got some cool videos, though. Okay, but nothing on Tequila Mockingbird. All right, I'm just going to say, do you want me to just go? Okay. I'm putting in, do you want me to just run with it? I'm already going, bro. I'm already moving and a grooving. That's what I'm actually putting. Moving and a grooving. Grooving. Okay. I'm pretty sure he's going to say yes. He did put up that post. I know he wants to. I want to talk about it. We can all talk about it. There's so much to talk about, but I think I just laid the law down. And the law is, I'm going to tell you what the law is. The law is this. You're sheeple. You are sheeple. And sadly, your rights and your power as a U.S. voting republic citizen of the United States is slowly being taken away. Not by your government, indirectly by your government. In other words, the 1% owns you, controls you. You are becoming their slave. You are becoming their slave. You are going to do what they tell you, when they want you to do it, how they want you to do it, and they're gaining more and more power over you than you know. You may be appeased, you may feel like you've got the upper hand, but when it comes right down to it and shit hits the fan, you got nothing. I'm telling you right now. So I'm going to say this just because I care, but in regards to the United States of America, we don't have the push and the pull and the influence as a people as we used to have. Hardly. We're nothing. They laugh at us. You go and demonstrate, they laugh at you. You go protest, they laugh at you. You have a rally, they're laughing at you. Bernie Sanders had 5, 10 times more people attending his rallies than both Clinton and Trump combined, yet he's not the president of the United States. For months and months, he had 20,000, 18,000, 25, 27,000, just everywhere. I mean, these are like 40,000 people. I mean, these giant basketball arenas. When they would show like 18 people at fucking Trump's rally or 128 at fucking Hillary's rallies. You know, our masses aren't meaning as much as they used to anymore. And we're letting it happen by the people that we put into power, by the party that we put into power. That's what you should know. That's the biggest part right there. If you don't have a third party coming out and causing a little chaos and doing things a little bit different than what these guys have been doing forever, kind of like Batman. You know, Batman does that, but he was a rich fucker. Sorry. It's just going to continue to happen. It's going to be the same old, same old, same old, same old. I'm telling you right now. You know, Evans, I guess he's tired. Just keep it going. All right, Zoom. Thank you. Sorry. I'm just going to keep it going, bro. Come on in. We're going to talk about this shit. Let me grab the invite. Bring some people in. I really got to go to the bathroom pretty soon. It's an open channel, by the way, everybody that comes on here. It's really cool because you're able to come on. I'm not looking at the chat right now. I'm doing some things, so I apologize. And I might play some music so you can't hear me talk. Put this in this, and here. Boop, boop. And I'm going to put this in here for the hosts. Boop, boop. Okay. By the way, everybody, Eben Kim is a man of great intelligence and technical ability. He put together this OBS/Zoom/other apps and software to put this together so you can see how this looks with the way it looks, which is fucking awesome. And I'm going to put it in the Zoom now, guys. Just a second. I'm going to put it in the live chat. Dashboard. Here it is. So, okay. Hola, just a second. Sorry. And there it is. So, Lucas, my brother, what's up? Hey, we better talk soon because we're going to be limited here pretty quick. We might be going like this because our stream, right, Lucas? Is that what's going to happen pretty soon? Where we're going to be our ability to have a faster download speeds, or what is it? Do you know for net neutrality?
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I mean, will we be stuttering as our videos get shittier because we're not paying the amount that we should to have faster access in certain websites? And
well, yeah, how much we're willing to pay if we want to have these conversations. You know, if we're willing to pay a lot, we can have these conversations uninterrupted. You know, but that's going to be an extra, probably like $10 to $20 on your internet bill every month. You know.
Holy fuck me.
Because that would be like a part of like the social media package where you can like FaceTime and do Facebook and Twitter and Skype and all that, you know, because they're probably going to divide it all into packages. So there'll be like the social media package, and then there'll be the streaming package, you know, for like Netflix and Amazon Prime and YouTube. And then there'll be the shopping package for Amazon and Walmart and, you know, Barnes and Noble. And all
those will probably be cheaper. The shopping packages.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. But you never know.
It depends on the traffic. If there's more traffic, on social media, which I think there is, right? There's more traffic on social media. Facebook's going to be charged. I mean, to get in, I'm not sure what the fucking details are, dude. I haven't really looked at it, but we're fucked.
I'm not saying that's what's for sure going to happen, but just based on what's happened in when other countries have gotten rid of net neutrality, that's my guess.
What a fucking day, right? What a day. Nothing was said. Snark, I'm going to make you a host for a little bit. I got to go to the bathroom. Thank you, sir. So the thing is it's just getting worse, guys. Thank you for listening to my stupid monologue, by the way, but I had to chime in.
Good luck. Stay on target.
Are we on target? Are we okay, though? I mean, are we going in the right direction? I'm concerned now. I don't know if we're doing the right things anymore.
Well, you can always hope.
Okay.
At least we're talking. We haven't given up yet.
Oh, so this is the packages: messaging, social, email, music. So it'll be similar to this.
Probably. This is what's happened in other countries. Like, but you can see like each one of those is, you add in that extra monthly fee for every single, group of services.
Right. It's so fucked up, man. They just privatized, they fully privatized our free internet. Yeah.
That's why I want to use Ben Franklin's idea. And I consider the internet just an extension of communication, which post office that he set up around the country was the most effective communication of its time.
Yeah.
Transportation of physical newspapers,
right.
Physical objects, communication. And I see TV, radio, and internet just as an extension of the communication system. And I believe it needs to be renationalized, moved to the post office, and FCC report to the post office. And there should be, under Ben Franklin's vision, an address for everybody and a pipeline for them to get access to that address.
Like make internet a right?
Make internet a right. Now, just like there's areas in Alaska where you have to go into town and get your mail, that's acceptable because you've decided to live in a remote area. But for 99.999% of the country, there is absolutely no reason for you not to have at least FiOS to your doorstep. And we should mandate that all internet connections to every residence in the United States be at least 80% of the maximum speed possible in the world with the technologies. And that would keep us level. And just like the interstates, where this free flow of product allowed us to have such a great economic boom in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. I believe that moving the internet system to the post office would give us a similar boost in intellectual growth necessary for the next 100 years.
Oh, what do you think about also maybe putting part of it under the jurisdiction of the post office and part of it under the jurisdiction of like libraries? Because I know that a lot of people who don't have the internet in their home go to the libraries for internet access.
Well, I really think that the transmission and flow should be through the internet, and I believe the Department of Education should actually be enhancing the libraries. The library shouldn't be having to pull this on their own. They do a great public education, and they should get public funding appropriate for what they do, which I don't believe they do right now.
Well, yeah, because most of our money goes to bombs.
Well, here, our post office is mostly locally funded. State, city grants and stuff like that. And I really think that, as you mentioned, our post office even has a seed bank. Or not post office, our library even has a seed bank.
Yeah, mine does. My public library in my town does too, although it's not a big seed bank. It's got a lot of the same varieties of seeds, and it's just like in a little drawer. But they still have a seed bank, and stuff grows. Like I planted stuff and it grew.
I personally think that if a kid can go in there and get a paper cup with some dirt and a seed in it, they've made the first good step.
Yeah.
But again, there's so many things that we've thought that our government's job is to create customers. No, our government's job is to lay the foundation for us to be able to have customers. And I think too often we're playing roles of picking who can be the vendor. And that shouldn't be. If it was a level playing field where we were just making the rules and making sure that everyone had access to the tools, then I think we're able to finally have a capitalist society that runs well, instead of this current lopsidedness that always ends up in failure.
Oh, shit. Sorry.
So Snork, about that house that you sent me a link to.
Just to fill everybody in, I saw this house for sale today, and it's in my town. And I noticed that it's got estimated mortgage of $70, but that could go lower. $70 a month, not total. $70 a month can be steep, but I know people that are paying multiple times that in rent.
Oh yeah, rent. You'd be lucky to find rent anywhere like under $500, around the country. Like $500 is considered cheap for rent for most people.
It only has one bedroom. It has the fixtures and all that look pretty ugly. They look like the fixtures at least 70 years old. So like the sink has stains, the cupboards are old, but it has this fantastic yard, and I'd have to go by and look, but I could swear that's a walnut tree. Where the branch is like 18 inches in diameter.
Oh yeah, I'm not sure if that. I can't tell from the pictures. It's like I've been checking out Zillow ever since you sent me that link, looking at other houses around the states, and it's like I swear Zillow puts up the worst pictures. Like they must have like a maximum quality of the pictures that can be uploaded. Because like every single picture I've seen for these houses has just been blurry as heck, and like you couldn't zoom in on it even if you wanted to.
Not only that, when I went to Google Maps and did a street view of the house, and it was all blurred out. It was just like there was a sun blur or something when they took it, so it was real hard to see which house it was. But I was real curious to go look at it. I have looked at some of these houses. I looked at one for $23,000 that was a few blocks from there. My kids wanted to buy a house here, and
yeah, I've been looking at the ones that are around the northwestern corner of Iowa. Like I have all the foreclosure houses that I could, like the ones that are below,
Why northwestern Iowa?
That's just because like the limit of like the map where it'll show me all the houses on the same screen,
Okay.
Like because if I were to go south, it wouldn't fit them all on the screen.
Okay. Northwest Iowa is expensive. It's mostly flat.
Yeah, well, I mean, for permaculture though, that's nice if you have flat land, because that means that you can get good sun exposure. Because if it's hilly, then you have to make sure you're on the south side, or else you're going to have a tougher time. And if you want to farm things, it will take a lot longer to get that investment, get return on investment. Because for a north side, if you want to have a successful permaculture farm, ginseng is going to be the profit crop, but that's a 9-year return. Yeah, all the ones I noticed that like I could afford to buy like right now with just like what I have saved up, they're all like really gross.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
like falling apart or moldy.
Now, check out the town of Vulgar, Volga, and Al-Qaeda.
Is that south of you, north of you?
Northeast. And you will find some land for sale that has all southern exposure.
Oh, I guess I was looking at the northeast corner of Iowa, not northwest corner, because I was looking where you sent me.
Like there are areas that are flat.
Yeah.
But you could get an in-town area that's former housing, former town, but the town's like almost all gone. You're gonna have to go 20 miles to go shopping. But the incredibly low prices in the houses and land. If you want to try permaculture, Elkader or Vulgar might be the places to go. Or Wadena.
That's cool.
I'm looking at the map that's not even showing up. They must be really tiny towns.
Yeah, they're on there. You'll have to focus in.
So if I was looking at Decorah, would they be north, east, west, south?
Southeast of Decorah.
Okay.
Because Decorah, you're in an area that's really scenic.
Okay.
The land prices start going up once you get south of Highway 20. Yeah, and that picture was taken in 2009 before some of the businesses closed down.
Highway 20.
Yeah, you're a long way north of it. You see those houses like that. All of those houses are all probably less than $30,000. There's a lot of businesses that are empty, and there's empty lots beside them. A permaculture experimenter's dream, almost.
Yeah, well, that's kind of one of the things that I've been looking at. All these cheap houses on here, and it's like I wouldn't even mind living in a dilapidated house if there was, enough land that I could start building myself a tiny house on, right outside of the house. Because then by the time I got the house built, I could just knock down the other one.
Now that building, like you had right up there, that brick building, that would probably go for about $25,000 or $15,000.
Awesome.
There was one in town here that was for sale for $15,000. And it was 3 stories, 6 apartments, and an area that formerly had been a bar and a basement, and and it was going for $15,000. The city couldn't sell it. It had been in arrears for so long in taxes that the city took it, and they were offering any help you needed to get financing. And I called a friend of mine, and he said, go get it. I'll just PayPal you the money, go get it. And by the time I got down to talk it, somebody else had taken the offer. But some of these small towns out here, there's all kinds of businesses that are never coming back because of first Amazon, and now Target is coming up with another niche to fill in what pretty much Amazon hasn't taken, where you call your local Target, or basically go on the website, they will load up your whatever you want to buy from Target, send somebody out in a car to your house and deliver it.
What were you trying to say, Chad?
I don't remember.
I'm sorry.
So, Snork, is the place you were talking about north, west, south, or east of Independence, Iowa?
North of Independence.
So it's north of Independence, but south of Decorah.
And it's east of Independence, approximately 28 miles.
What'd you say it was called again?
Well, the first one I mentioned was Vulgar, and the other ones were Wadena and Elkader. I haven't been into Wadena, but I suspect it's identical to Vulgar. But Vulgar has its nice part. Let's see. Oh, so does Wadena. It has a very scenic river. but Vulgar has its nice part. Let's see. Oh, so does Wadena.
Right, so there's nothing foreclosed in Wadena, but if I changed it to houses that weren't foreclosed, I'd probably see some.
Yeah, you mean without foreclosure, you might even still be a good deal.
Are you trying to move to Iowa?
I'm trying to move anywhere I can afford to live.
Yeah, and he wants to do permaculture.
Yes, very much so. I'd like to have some self-sufficiency. That way, in the event of an economic collapse or any kind of hard times, I could, provide some of my own food.
And even if you had to go to the store, it's like I said.
You should come to Tennessee.
I'm guessing that rural Tennessee might be similar in cost to here. And once you get past where I live into northeast Iowa, it starts looking like Tennessee. I mean, most of Iowa is uninteresting. But you get up in the northeast Iowa, there's parks where you can go stand on a rock and the eagles will come up and look you in the face.
Oh, wow.
Right in front of you. That's in Bellevue, Iowa. There's a park on a hill just on the south side of Bellevue, Iowa. I've never been there that eagles haven't come up to me.
Oh, you are blessed.
And there's just not that many people here. There's so many vacancies. It's just a lot of the jobs. But I can tell you, if you only have to pay $70 a month for your mortgage, probably another $10 a month for your house insurance.
Well, I don't need to pay that because I have enough saved up that I could pay for more than a 20% down payment, on the house. And in theory, if I was able to withdraw all the money that's been invested in my name, I could pay for it up front. In theory, but that's probably not going to happen. I probably don't have access to that.
Well, I was just throwing out some possibilities for you.
Because I'm open to anything at this point.
Culture, and the thing is, when you're starting up a business, you need your personal expenses just to be minimal.
Yeah,
and it might be a way for you to combine your personal expenses and your startup in a way that, if you only need to buy your meat, I can tell you it's going to be pretty cheap to live here. If you don't mind learning how to can, get some tips from some chefs and how to cook things.
I think I know where I want to move.
I don't know if somebody from Washington could handle it. I mean, you live a pretty exciting life out there.
I don't. I can't stand this. I live in like concrete paradise.
I could definitely live in Oregon. I know that. I've done a lot of research on the climate there. And if there's any climate in the United States that it would be easy to survive in, it is Oregon and Washington.
Yeah. But no, like the cost of living was just shocking when I moved out here. Because when I lived in Illinois, I would shop at an inexpensive grocery store, not the top of the line grocery store, and I couldn't even fill a cart with $100. Out here, I have to struggle to be able to fit enough in a cart to get $100 in there. And then they push it out to the car for me, won't let me touch it. They don't want customers hurting their backs loading their car. I think the most expensive thing I did was I bought 20 pounds of stew meat to be able to spend $50 in the meat department. If you spent $50 in the meat department, you got a free turkey. So I do anything this. Now I've got all this stew meat. I still got to cook stew this week and next week and the week after that. It's just me and my daughter now, so we don't eat that much.
Jesus.
See, if I lived out in a place like yours, I'd be getting me a horse, and I would be taking my camera and going all over selling my photos online.
Well, I mean, if you have work to do here,
or if I have a 401k and all that already.
Well, let me put it this way. If suddenly your mortgage was $50 and you had to fix up your house, I mean, there's going to be things to fix in that house. You might need a new heater or whatever. I don't know, because I didn't look into it. I just saw it and thought I'd post that. I thought of Lucas right away, because I was also put up the 2 links to that squash and corn thing.
Yeah, that was pretty neat.
And then right after I was posting those, I saw this alert come in, because I was watching the houses for my kids to buy some. And I thought, send it along. That might even be a big enough yard for him to do his permaculture experiments. And then I started thinking, if you can do photography, the El Cater Vulgar area is phenomenal in the fall. Do you like to take autumn photographs?
Mm-hmm.
One of the few tourist things that people have in Iowa is coming out to Volga River Basin to take photographs. If you guys want to chat for a few minutes, I'll pull up some Volga pictures.
Yeah.
I keep thinking he's saying Al Qaeda.
I did too. For a few times.
I was like,
somebody from the Mideast fought in the Revolutionary War or the American Indian War or something. I can't remember what it was. And the town is named after him. So it's a name from that region.
oh wow.
But it's not spelled the same way at all. I just found it whenever I searched Volga, Iowa, and I saw it's next door, and it's spelled very differently.
I know. Iowans have a problem spelling other countries' names.
Well, I don't think that's
the Iowans. Right, they pronounce it wrong.
Because if you look at a lot of the people who came to New York, in the 30s, that came through Ellis Island, whenever their names got Americanized, and they kept the pronunciation, but the spelling was completely ridiculously changed.
Yes. I know that. I don't think my great-great-grandparents came through Ellis Island. I think they actually came before. But when they came, everybody that got off the boat from Denmark left with the name Hansen. And during after the Vietnam War, when we brought all the Vietnamese here, I knew a family where the immigration people just went wild with the names, because I can't remember. I'm probably not okay to say names. Well, the mother's name was changed to Hung On. One of the kids' names was Zoom On. And they, it's almost outrageous, almost criminal what they did with this family's names, because their family name was On, and it's in the front with them, but they switched it all around for everybody else. And sometimes immigration people, I don't know if they go crazy filing paperwork. Anyway, I'll let you guys talk for a minute. Let me pull up some pictures. So I might have to access my phone.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things I'm looking for, whenever I'm searching for houses. It's I don't necessarily mind if the house is crappy, as long as I'll, be able to not breathe in toxic mold when I fall asleep at night, and, I won't freeze to death in the wintertime. But even if it meets that criteria, if it doesn't have land, then it's like out immediately for me, because like I have to have land to grow things. Like right now, with my lack of land to grow things, like I have all these seeds and nowhere to plant them.
It does get frustrating.
I have so many seeds, like I just ordered more today. Like I'm gonna have a few hundred more different kinds of seeds coming in the mail in coming weeks.
Let's don't think about California. We're gonna fall off of a cliff here pretty soon, too. Supposed to be some giant earthquake. We're prepping for it already. And besides, it's really expensive out here. Like, fucking tremendously expensive out here.
Well, that's gonna change once we have the housing crash. I'm thinking about waiting until the housing crash happens to buy.
Yes. Till when the bubble bursts, we're good to go. Then get those wagons and move west. It's a great place, and I've looked at it several times. Is Tennessee, West Virginia. There's so many beautiful areas that are so rural, and there's lakes and rivers, and the thing is a lot of that area. What's happening recently is there's fracking coming up because there are a lot of red states, and these people don't even realize there's fracking facilities next door. Some of them they don't pay attention, they don't care, they don't understand it. But it's starting to pollute their groundwater. So I mean, it on the surface from the outside looks fantastic. It's beautiful, but there's some chemicals that are afloating, and it's not looking good. So until we can get rid of fracking and these pipelines and so many other things that are just the coal. What is that stuff that comes out of coal that they use? Snort probably knows this. Or you may even know, Lucas. It's. He was saying there's some. I'm sorry.
The ash.
Yeah, the ash. That's the stuff. The ash that they pour. It's the waste, and they're pouring it into lakes, and they're trying to dispose of it, and they're just sprinkling it everywhere. So that's not good either. And people are losing their hair, and it's tough. It's got great soil, but it's more surface because we understand this. But there are some places in Hawaii, man, that have like the freshest, most purest soil, unspoiled, because it's new soil. You just want to eat it. It's so fresh.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. It's like red. It's like a red color. It's weird.
I started looking at foreclosed houses in Oregon, and it's so expensive. Like all the foreclosures in Oregon, ridiculous compared to the Iowa and other state foreclosures.
Yeah, that's bad too.
And in Ohio, it's crazy because like Ohio is just as bad as Iowa at being like an eyesore with like nothing nice to look at. But it's like everything in Ohio is completely overvalued, like to an insane extent.
I miss the bananas and the pineapple in Hawaii so much.
Oh yeah, the mangoes. I mean, I've eaten mangoes and papayas from Hawaii, and there's a real difference in you can just almost taste the nutrients because it's from fresh soil, and then you taste the stuff that comes from Mexico and just wherever they can find, South America or wherever, and it's just like no taste. There's texture, there is something, but it's just not. It's just crap.
Just to have a big bowl of fruit and fresh coconut and then sitting by the water. Oh my God.
With a Mai Tai, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. And listening to all the music.
A lot of the bananas come from Costa Rica, and they're grown conventionally like how corn is grown in the United States, where they have chemicals, constantly being dumped on them. Like in chemical, like pesticides and everything, flown in on a plane and sprayed that way.
Right.
I don't know if you've ever watched. There's a TED talk that Stephen Brooks gave, And it was whenever he was a college kid and he took a trip down to Costa Rica. He was at a banana farm, and he was, watching all these kids play on the local, on a playground, like at their local school, right next to this banana farm. Mm-hmm. And then while he was there, exploring this banana farm, a plane came and doused the banana farm in chemicals, and his eyes were burning, and he couldn't breathe.
Whoa.
And he noticed these kids just got doused in that, and they just kept on playing, and he was like, "Well, this is fucked up." And so then he went and became a famous permaculture designer, and now he lives in this beautiful, basically like a permaculture resort in the middle of the jungle in Costa Rica. Mm-hmm. And the only way to get to it is either a 2-hour hike through the rainforest or a 20-minute boat ride.
Sweet.
And he's got this beautiful permaculture property with all the food they could ever eat, and they have people come in every year for permaculture design courses and training, and yeah, they've got it good down there now. But whenever he first went down there and saw what was going on, and the thing that inspired him was just seeing the banana farms up close and in person, and how all the bananas are covered with blue plastic bags to keep the pests away and everything, and to keep them from ripening or something. There's another reason they're there other than just pests. But he talks about how whenever they're harvested, all those blue plastic bags just get thrown down onto the ground, and then they go into the waterways, and one of the major sources of trash pollution down in Costa Rica is banana plantations.
Wow.
What's that?
Hey, Snork, I think I've seen this before. What is this? This is
this is Alcater.
Oh wow.
Nice bridge.
So this is one of the few restaurants in town. This is the back deck. And
can I say something real quick? Do you guys see the keystones?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys know who knows what a keystone is? Raise your hand.
I do.
I know you do, Lucas. It's the top stone in the arc. It's usually a little bigger, but you can see it. If he wanted to point at it, he could show you or circle it. Grab your thing and circle it. But that's in every archway, and they're all over. The cathedral, the Roman cathedral, the Roman, whatever. Lots of. It's a Mason thing. Masonic thing, I guess, but it's pretty cool. See, there it is, right there. That's the keystone. Without that, everything falls apart.
And they actually did this one a little bit shifted.
You can see it.
Yeah, it's over to the left a little bit.
Yeah, Obama Clinton. Trump.
So I just remember, they did such a good job on this restaurant. They picked it up for pennies.
That's cool. Look at that. You can see the out of it. It's got that French awning look and all that. Looks really nice.
It is a I think it was a Moroccan restaurant.
That's
had baklava.
That city that bridge and that restaurant looks like something you'd see in Europe.
Yeah,
that's what it's like along the Vulgar River. One of the first areas settled in Iowa, because of the river allowed, commerce. And then it went to the Mississippi, and you could go anywhere.
What is that big building over there? It looks like a big factory, mining.
That's a grain silo.
Can you zoom in on the top?
Oops.
Grain silo. That's just where they hold a lot of the
corn.
Is it corn?
It's Iowa, so it's corn.
It could be corn or soybeans. Now you see these little ones here.
Uh-huh.
They're probably 100 feet in diameter and probably 300 feet tall. This is probably about the size.
Shit, that's huge.
Of a Saturn V spacecraft assembled.
Whoa.
But I don't know. You can't really see it here, but maybe you could make out the size of the one behind it. That's probably the corn.
Okay.
That's what that looks like, yeah.
Looks like Trump. Looks like Trump Tower.
That tri-silo that's in front looks just like there's recently a tri-silo built in Newcomerstown.
It looks like sorry.
And in the in the tri-silo, they store all these different these tiny little clay beads that are used for fracking.
Ah,
Oh,
yeah, these wouldn't be for fracking, but they do fracking in the west side of the state. That is a huge thing of corn there. This probably isn't 3. It's probably at least 9.
Yeah. It does look like there's dimensions to it. If you look at the one on the right, like it looks like it goes back further.
And it could even be more than 9.
You just drew Trump's tits.
that's Chad.
But yeah, this is a typical town along the Volga River. That's why I suggested that it's not really a bad town. It's got good internet. If you need anything, it's a good 4.5 hour drive to Chicago. I mean, like if you want to see anything or take a flight.
Yeah, whenever I looked at the real estate for Volga, none of it was very cheap.
Oh, all right.
It was most of it was all over $100,000.
Oh, Sir Chad.
You are such a goofball.
I suppose when you're driving through, you see the stuff that's not advertised.
Yeah.
And a lot of places are listed for 100. We'll take 15 or 25.
Well, I mean, if they'll take 15, then that's a place I can get to.
Yeah, but a lot of places don't want to list what they're actually willing to accept. They're hoping that somebody will give them a higher rate. And you have to be willing to understand that if you buy out here, you might not be able to get millions for the property after you fix it up. So,
I didn't know somebody could do something on somebody else's share.
I think that's since we changed to Zoom, isn't it? So it's a collaboration thing, so people can mark up and say what they want is on there. I think I can't mark up, but everybody else can.
How do you do that?
Chad, let's turn it over to Chad.
Chad,
I'll leave this up. Give us a talk through.
You're watching how to fuck with people while they're sharing their screen.
What is that sound?
That's your microphone, I think, because the Bluetooth headset it wrinkles. It has like a little sputter.
It never does that.
You go up to view options when somebody's sharing, and then you click annotate, and then you play with all the little different stuff. Line win.
Now there's a boat there.
Now you gotta have everybody.
I'm trying to. Jimmy Dore is the birdie of TYT.
Yeah, no, this system has some excellent collaboration capabilities.
It does.
And so Yvonne and I we're gonna have a meeting on it tomorrow. So
I like it. I like it.
Take
your picture down. I think we're good with the picturing. Can you take it down, please?
Okay, taking it down.
Hey, Stevie, how are you? What's going on? Anything?
No, not much.
Not much. Okay.
Here is the unshare.
Did you have something else, Snook, you wanted to share?
No, I was trying to find the button. It was on that screen way over there.
That's what she said.
Hey, Stevie.
It's a button. Is that a button?
Stevie, that for a second there, like that shirt is as pale as you are, and like I thought you weren't wearing one, and it was like I think you might want to go and turn off your camera for a second.
She's not wearing
I got one.
She's not wearing a shirt. Anyway, okay.
One way to get viewers.
Sex sells. That's all I gotta say. All right. So earlier I was talking. Did you guys hear my monologue? My stupid rant? Did you guys hear some of it?
Oh, were you talking before?
Yeah, just a little bit. Stupid shit. You know.
No. Yes.
Yeah, and this time his music was actually quiet enough that we could hear.
You could actually hear me. Yeah.
Did a good job.
Good Jimmy. Yeah. But no, I was just pretty much pointing out the obvious. They're just it's the police state. It's getting fascism is just growing at an exponential rate, and these two parties don't give a shit about us. Pretty much, the usual. The usual. Oh, Chad, did you know I got some guy coming next Thursday? Right? You gonna be around? He's
Yeah.
he's running for at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. He's running for governor. His name is Josh Jones, running for governor of California. And
Awesome.
we're going to throw a bunch of questions at him. Maybe some Russia questions.
I think that's first on the list.
It's a big list, I'm telling you right now.
I was going to say, if we get enough people, we'll have a whole cabinet ready for
California governor?
He's going for California governor. His name is Josh Jones, yeah.
If we
I think with your experience with readiness, we should be talking readiness. The volcanic activity off the coast. How we covered that. Does Rebel have a mask capable of handling tephra, TEPHRA?
Like
you want to Google that up.
The ash or the soot that comes down?
Like the ash from the volcano. Yeah. Westover?
I have a mask.
I know that word because of Hawaii. When I went to Hawaii, I was up on the mountains going down an inner tube in the snow when the other volcano, I was on Mauna Kea. So I could actually see people surfing, but I was going down an inner tube down the snowy slope of Mauna Kea. But then just to my right, I'm watching Mauna Kea go off like a fucking Roman candle, shooting like 300-400 feet in the air lava. It's crazy. So the word they use that you don't want, I heard the newscasters say that word you don't want to be downwind of that shit.
Especially you don't want to be wearing contacts.
What? It'll get in your contacts?
You get inside and it's like glue.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't have contacts.
You'd have permanent contact.
That's fucking cool though, by the way.
Alrighty, so have any of you ever heard of the famous British comedian Tommy Cooper?
Dark-haired guy?
Well, I'm not sure what color his hair was. I haven't Googled a picture of him, but he's been dead for a while. He was a really tall, lanky, weird-looking guy, and he was a huge drunk, like an alcoholic guy. But I was listening to a doll today about him, and his life was crazy, and his jokes are hilarious. Like basically, he was a guy who wanted to be a magician, but he sucked at it, and everyone would laugh at him. And then so he realized that he could make people laugh by failing at magic. So he decided to become a comedian, and his bit would be that he's a bad magician. And so he would go, and on top of being a bad magician and messing up all the tricks, he would also tell jokes, like one-liners, or a couple liners. And do you want to hear a couple of them because they're pretty good?
Yes, I do. I can play them. Want me to play? Would it be bad if I played them, or would I get copyright?
Well, I'm not sure if they're recorded. I have like a list,
let's hear a couple. I'm interested.
I went to the doctor's. He said, I'd like you to lay on the couch. I said, what for? He said, I'd like to sweep the floor, please. All right, and then the last time I went to the doctor, he said, what appears to be the problem? And I said, I keep having the same dream, night after night. Beautiful girls rushing towards me, and I keep pushing them away. He said, how can I help? And I said, break my arms.
I don't know. It's stupid English.
That when I went to the doctor. The time before that, when I went to the doctor, I said, it hurts when I do this. And he said, well, don't do that.
That's pretty simple.
And then, this time, whenever I went to the doctor, I said, with all the excitement of Christmas, I just can't sleep. But he said, try laying on the edge of your bed. Soon you'll drop off.
Lucas is bringing the dad jokes tonight.
I know, right? That's some good humor.
Yeah, last night my wife had a go at me. She said, "You'll drive me to my grave." I had the car out in 30 seconds.
Oh, it's just about delivery anyways, really.
I went up into the attic and found a Stradivarius and a Rembrandt. Unfortunately, Stradivarius was a terrible painter and Rembrandt made lousy violins.
Yeah.
One year I got a bike for my birthday, so I went pedaling off down the road and knocked an old lady down. "Can't you ring your bell?" she said. "I can ring my bell," I said, "but I can't ride my bike."
Do you know how he died?
He like died on stage doing a live comedy routine in front of an audience while they were thinking he was doing a bit.
I am not playing. Do not play the video. It's just I don't think it's cool to play it. But it's there.
I don't think I could handle it.
Nah, don't play it.
Well, people, and it was crazy because the people watching didn't know that was what happened. Like that he just like died in front of them. Like they thought it was part of his bit, and like backstage, like the manager was like asking his son, "He didn't we didn't do this in rehearsal. Is this part of his bit?" And his son was like, "No, he's dead."
Shit, that's nuts.
But like his life was just crazy. Like he had like 2 wives, like that, like, and he had like the road wife and like the home wife, and he one time he was on the Parkinson show, which was basically like a late night show, like kind of like Jimmy Kimmel or Jimmy Fallon or one of those, like, or like David Letterman, but like British. And so, part of his bit was, like Michael Parkinson was supposed to get into it like a guillotine. And he was supposed to like have like the safety on for the guillotine. And on this late night show, right when they are about to go through with it, an intern came on the stage and like whispered, "Hey, you don't have the safety on for the guillotine." And so they were like 5 seconds away from actually guillotining Michael Parkinson's head off on live TV.
Whoa!
Wow. Stevie, I would be freezing my ass off if I were you. Here I am, I'm bundling in here.
I've got a heater going right behind me, and then I got another one on the other side of the room because it gets pretty cold in the basement. So I've got.
I don't hear it.
Huh?
I don't hear it.
Yeah, it's pretty quiet.
Oh, maybe I can get away with mine. I just don't turn it on because I don't want to.
Hey, so Lucas, I sent you Trulia, the link to Trulia, if you know what that is. You were talking about where to live where it's cheap. I'll just put it up on the YouTube. You may not be able to see it, but what you're able to do here is you're able to find out what the listing prices are of homes, sale prices, and what they've sold for. Valuation, rental prices as well. And you can zoom in, find out, what's expensive. And of course, the areas that are very expensive, of course, are the coast of California, yellow and orange. San Francisco is extremely expensive. There are places in Santa Clara, which is south of San Francisco by like 50, 60 miles to 100 miles, $920,000 for a house. And then it goes up to $1 million. And then in where I live, which is, LA, Orange County, Disneyland, I think the median price now is $750. And then this is what gets me is you go way over here to where Stevie lives, where all the coal is and all that, and you go to West Virginia, and you go there, and it's like totally cheap. I mean, it's just super inexpensive to live. I mean, 100,000. There are places for Jesus, just nothing. Man, it's crazy. Let's see where Chad's in Tennessee. 160, about the 85,000. North Carolina. Look at all this. All these prices of these places are so inexpensive. The West Coast compared to the East Coast is just fucking not fair, man. Look at that. That is just ridiculous. 260,000, 85,000, and then over here it's 750,000 to like fucking, 50,000. Just wrong.
Yeah, I wish Vermont were cheaper. It's like everyone who's like progressive wants to live in Vermont. So Vermont, the house prices are ridiculously expensive. It's like if we were to have like the housing bubble burst, it's like Vermont would definitely be on my list of places to look for a house.
Yeah. It's just, I think everything's just overpriced anyway. I was talking about that in my stuff I was trying to say.
Maybe I'll just save up and move to Canada or Australia or Europe or something.
Well, if it keeps,
where people value other people and where they think healthcare is a right, and where nobody owns guns compared to the United States.
I know.
I would suggest too, finding an area if you want to go to Iowa or Tennessee or wherever you want to go, is go spend some time and drive around, because there's a lot of places, a lot of empty houses, a lot of land that's not being used, that it takes somebody actually going in and creating a relationship with these people to be able to get in somehow. Plus, I mean, there's tons of old houses that you could strip down and damn near redo, with all the reclaimed wood. Exactly.
No shit.
It's cheap. There's all sorts of spots.
I could buy that outright. I could.
You can get a house cheaper than a car here.
My God.
Crazy.
I'd be happy in that.
I used to live in Vancouver. That was it was the greatest place, the northern part of the sound.
Vancouver would be amazing. Anywhere in British Columbia would be amazing.
Yeah, just gorgeous.
That's a nice area of the world. Like, especially, I mean, because you have the Pacific Northwest up there too, like where you can go hiking in all the mountains up there. Like that's like such a beautiful place to live.
No.
When I think of Canada, I think of rhubarb.
How many acres?
We used to have rhubarb pie all the time.
Stevie, how many acres do some of those have? Like, what the one right there, 9,900. Like does that one have land? Because like if that one has enough land.
Yeah, see, it says 535, 5.35.
Okay, like this one right here is less than 10 grand, and it's a 5-acre lot.
Fucking shit! That's it. I'm out of here.
Send me a link to that one, Stevie.
I'm fucking moving there. Goodbye, everything. I'm done.
And a lot of these are empty lots, so I mean,
fuck, I could.
Even if you just get like a cheap trailer and put it on there, I know so many people have done that. They get the land, they put some just piece of shit whatever on there,
double wide,
and then they build their own homes, and they make it nice. So
fuck, I could build. I'm a fucking ex-foreman for a fucking construction company. I could build the ultimate castle.
Look at that! Oh my God, that's huge.
Shit.
3 bedrooms, 1 bath. I mean, here's the thing. Like in Charleston, it's got a bad reputation for like crime and stuff, but it's really not that bad. Like I used to stay down there, and it's
people are just too poor to be criminals anyway, right? That's the problem.
Well, I mean, the idea is to go into a place and give it some energy.
Look at that.
And help build up.
Yep.
Stevie, where'd you find that one? Because like I want to find that one.
Send me that link.
Like,
Stevie, can you send me that link, please? Stevie, send me that link.
Let's see, for the 5-acre one.
Even it, like just to like the page you're at right now, maybe you could send us a link to that.
Just send me the link.
I'll post it in chat.
I'm fucking selling everything and gonna go buy a fucking 5-acre. Jesus.
Buy a homestead.
Yeah, Jesus.
I could have a horse there.
That is crazy. I used to have a horse.
What breed?
It was our horse that we shared with our neighbor. It was just, I didn't know what kind of horse. I rode it like 3 times.
What color was it?
It was a big brown horse.
Probably a quarter horse?
I don't know. But it was a nice horse. It was really cool.
I had an Appy.
I ended up taking care of it more than anybody because nobody fucking did anything. But I wrote it on the beach on the island of Kauai. That was fucking badass. A few times in the back. Yeah, anyway, just fucking beautiful. Can you send us? Did you put that link inside the chat? Is that it right there? Thank you.
Yeah, I posted it in the Zoom chat.
I am so fucking doing this.
Well, Stevie, I think we're all moving to.
Yeah, well, you're gonna have some neighbors real soon, young lady.
West Virginia.
Are there any good karaoke bars?
Yeah, I think there's probably a couple.
I'll make a fucking karaoke bar.
I've seen bars that have karaoke around here.
I will make a karaoke bar down there.
What do you sing at karaoke, James? Mr. Mana.
I can't sing for shit, so I ain't singing nothing.
But what do you sing once you have a couple brewskis and you're getting all?
No, what? I'm sorry. What did you say? I can't hear you.
When you have a couple brewskis, you get a little.
Yeah, when a couple of shots, a few brewskis, and fucking I'm in, bro.
And what do you sing? Then at that point, what do you sing?
Nat King Cole is one of my favorites.
Oh, me too. Ouch, damn it.
Yeah, kinda.
Okay, so what? How many? Do you have like a top 5? How many songs have you sang karaoke in your lifetime? Can you count?
How many times have I sang karaoke?
Yeah, is it a lot?
I'd say about 2,000 times.
Okay, so you have like a list of your go-to songs. So what's your top 5?
All right, if you only want to know, I think it's Mona Lisa for sure. I sing that a lot. And then I sing Frank Sinatra, Luck Be a Lady. I sing some old ones. I don't know. Let me see. Let me see my list. I think I got a song list. Hold on.
Do they do live band karaoke there? I'm sure they do.
A lot? No, I don't know. They got all kinds of stuff here too. This is Orange County. We're right next to Disneyland. We've got billions of people here. So yeah, there's a lot going on. That's a good list. A good listing of houses. Fuck, I can't believe that. That's nuts. Fuck.
Can you live? Well, wait, where did she go? I'll have to wait till she gets back.
Well, I just want to make sure. Who cares? It's a fucking house for $10,000. Jeez, fuck.
Can you live like $1,000 a month in a place like that?
Yeah, if you have the income. I mean, if you have an income from outside of there, you would live like a king.
That's how much I will be getting in about 4 months.
Yeah, I mean, basically, it's kind of like what, a lot of some Americans do with like Mexico. It's like you just save up your money here and then move there, and then you have basically like 5 times the amount of money. So, if you're working, in some other state and you move here, you're going to be good. But like if you live here, there's really like the thing is like the jobs and the low pay, like even with such low prices, it's hard for people to afford it. So it's kind of, well, I wouldn't say it's like directly like proportional to like California or whatever. I still think California is still way overpriced than what ours is, but I'll have to look into it. But yeah, it's still, I mean, we have so many homeless people here, so many jobless people here. It's all these houses dirt cheap and people aren't in them. It's crazy.
Because I'm going to be getting payouts pretty soon. And that will give me $1,000 a month. And I could make it there on 1,000.
I know a lot of people that make it on 1,000 because you can get rent or a house for about $500, and then your utilities usually run like about $350. So
I'll be able to buy my house.
And stuff.
I'll be able to just buy it outright. One payment, boom, I own a house.
But yeah, I mean, it's so cheap. I mean, like 10 grand for a house. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, that's like Detroit prices. You know what I mean? Like yeah. Nobody wants to live here.
It makes no sense at all. It makes no sense for that price. I mean, there's got to be something weird about maybe. Are there like demons and dragons and something?
Well, I mean, it could be the cancer rate and the birth defects and the lack of jobs and stuff to do and drugs.
I smoke.
That might put a lot of people off to living here.
Yeah, that could be a slight deterrent.
Yeah, it's a bit of a deal breaker for a lot of people, but you know.
I smoke, so I don't know if that would do any worse damage. I've smoked ever since 14. And I haven't even got a benign tumor, nothing.
Wonderful.
But yeah.
You've lived in the Washington area quite a long time, though, right?
Yeah, it's too long.
Well, that might have helped you.
I lived under the flight path.
It's still living in Washington. You didn't have the sun exposure, and a lot of people that get cancer.
Actually, Washington and where the airport is. That's what I was raised right under the flight pattern, and all my family has cancer. I don't, but I did meth for 5 years, and I think I burnt those cells. So there was an upswing of meth, right? No.
Everything has its effect. But other than Hanford, a lot of these things, not being in the sun can help a lot of people.
Yeah, we got a lot of chemical carcinogens here. We have a lot of fracking. We have a lot of oil spills. The fish in our rivers are mutated, and their flesh is beaten off by the time they get. It's terrible. The sun isn't the only thing.
Yeah, it's a lot of factors.
Looking at some of these houses online reminds me of how much some parts of the United States really are just a third world country, like, because there's people that living in houses that are like these, like buying houses that are like these because that's all they can afford. Like, that just makes me, I don't know. Like, in America, there's such a huge disparity. Like, I have no idea why the violent and bloody revolution hasn't happened yet.
Well, a lot of these houses probably don't have high-speed internet.
I think a lot of them don't have any internet at all.
Well, yeah. But like I was saying earlier, that everybody should get internet. It should be a government function, just like the mailman shows up at your house, so should the cable. Or so should the internet.
Okay, you just said something that I'm not really happy with.
Cable?
They don't have like those houses we were just looking at. They don't have high speed.
I don't know if the one in Kentucky does. I know that El Cater has really high speed. Because they don't have very many people to share it with.
I gotta have high speed.
I was gonna say, I think like $15 an hour is probably, in my opinion, like that would be progress if people could get pretty decent internet at $15 an hour or something like that. It seems like now actually things are gonna get more expensive. They found a way to, or somehow that it's like the way it's happening, it's gonna be more expensive and slower.
I could get away from this area. Oh, I don't like it here. Snobby uppity baby ass living. I live in. I should take a picture sometime and post it on Facebook. It's just massive houses around here. I could throw an egg to my neighbor.
Justin Bieber's done that.
So Snork, what about Arlington, Iowa?
Oh, that's not very far from here at all. The road to Arlington's right out my backyard.
Well, because I found a house that looks nice on the outside, but there's no pictures of it on the inside on Realtor.com, and it's in Arlington, and it's $15,000.
Put the link in the chat there.
Hey Stevie, how far away is the nearest ocean?
West
If
Virginia.
you're still there.
300 miles, maybe.
Whenever you're talking mountainous, you're not talking distance to the ocean. You're talking time. Because sometimes you have to go around the mountain. And your path might be like this to get there. So the distance and the time might not show up. Right.
There, I put that house I was talking about in the chat.
Okay.
You did watch Jamal's the whole thing or whatnot. No, you were talking about that on your monologue, your opening monologue.
Is he sleeping?
Maybe.
Who?
It looked like you were sleeping.
Who?
You?
I'm reading.
Chad asked you a question and it looked like you were sleeping.
I can't hear him. He's kind of muffly and I can't hear him that much.
Go for it, Chad.
I can't hear you, dude.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I was.
No, I was listening to the "Here Goes My Baby." And you were talking at the same time.
Oh, okay, that's why. That's such a good song.
Yeah,
such a good song. No, I was asking about you watched the Jamal about Jimmy Dore talk about Naomi's.
Come in, Konst, Namiki Konst.
And then as well as she did the one in the DNC thing where she yelled at him or something like that. Did you see that one too?
Yeah. She retracted about, somebody said last night or the night before that she retracted kind of what she was saying. She kind of like somebody may have, I'm not sure if I haven't seen it or read it or known about it yet, but from what I'm hearing is that she kind of retracted some of what she said and she apologized, whatever. They slapped her around or something and kind of settled her down, it seems like. But as I said earlier in my monologue, is that she was on Jamal, like you're saying, and she kind of opened up a little Pandora's box that I don't think anybody noticed when she said something about Donna Brazil texted her, it's cracked wide open. It's cracking wide open or something like that, something to that effect. Which, what does that mean, Donna? What does that really mean? Can you explain what that really means, Donna? Cracked what open? Nobody's asking that question. That's huge. That there's a private text from her cell phone that Naomi Konst is saying she received from Donna Brazil. It's cracked wide open. Okay, stop the presses. Let's go fucking talk to Donna.
Well, why aren't you talking about that? That's the whole point. If it's cracked that wide open, that would be the conversation on everybody's lips.
It should be right now. It should be. So what exactly are you talking about, Donna? And because Naomi Konst is saying that she received your text. Is she lying? Or is she making up what you said? I don't think she's making up what you said. What do you mean specifically that what's cracked wide open?
Why don't we do a Twitter storm and ask her?
Who, Donna?
Yeah.
And just get that like little, you know what I should do is get that little segment of Donna, of Jimmy's show, piece it, and send it out at her.
And then we'll retweet.
And I'll send it to Conks too. Send it to Conks too and do a Twitter storm at that. Where's this?
Yeah, because it seems like that's their tactic. That they'll say, okay, we'll say this just enough to get people's attention, like we said it, and then we'll backtrack it to let our people know that we're part of this game. You know what I mean? Like it seems too much. Because even Donna Brazil did the same thing. What's her name? Elizabeth Warren did it. Like it's like a little trend. They do it, and then all the buzz is around that, and then they don't put a buzz around the retraction of, oh, maybe I was that kind of thing.
I think it was an accident that she said that. I think she caught herself in an accident. Like, shit, I just fucking told everybody what fucking Donna Brazil texted me.
Mm-hmm.
It's because the look on her, because she kind of corrected. Well, Donna doesn't. She kind of changed the subject. You know, I'm gonna play a real. Are you able to watch YouTube, Sir Chad? If you want, just bring it up. I'll send you the link and I'll send you the time and you can bring it up on here. Because then you can see it and then you'll know what I'm talking about. You're like, what? Because I don't think anybody got that. Because I know it wasn't planned.
Right. I saw the part where she said it about getting text by her.
Yeah,
it's like,
but that's huge.
Super chummy. Like, why are we comfortable? Like, because it's this girl, all of a sudden, we're supposed to be comfortable. Like these people are not, part of the problem. Like Donna Brazil is not trying to do right for what she's done wrong. She's not.
No. I was thinking that maybe subconsciously or something because she keeps leaking shit. She's like oozes out a little bit of ethics here, a little bit of information there, a little bit of morals here. It's like she keeps spurting out this shit. And I think she's kind of just screaming from the inside, I want to tell the truth. I almost sense it inside of her. And maybe that's just me.
I almost think it's that thing to give them more validity with the progressive movement because, the progressive movement, nobody's really budging. So they have to like give somebody out there that can kind of, again, it's sheepdog tactics. Right? I mean, I feel like that's why they're so easy on saying certain things, but not real implication stuff to where people are like, oh, it's the way they say it and the way they form the words that leaves it kind of open to interpretation, and then for them to backtrack later. It's just too.
Do you think that was placed? Are you saying that Nominski Conks didn't know what she was saying? Or that she knew what she was saying and she threw that out there just to throw us off?
Well, no, I think it's a way to try to make people feel more chummy about accepting a certain, accepting Donna Brazil. But I don't know if I'm
this is a real.
No, I get what you're saying. She's on Jimmy Dore. She's trying to get the progressive crowd. She's gonna smile. She's gonna be nice. She knows what to say, but deep down inside, she was like all for fucking bombing Yemen and Syria and all this other shit. So she's Nominski Conks is she's not a progressive in my opinion. The way she portrays it, but I don't think she truly is.
Agreed. That's what I'm saying. It just seems too manufactured. And they're trying to play that game. It's like she's good at it. Remember, she's a writer.
So do you?
Whatnot?
Yeah.
I think she right.
She's part of the party and all this other shit.
Oh yeah, no, she. And ever since she went to TYT too, like that's kind of when their little shift. Shit kind of happened too.
I'm gonna send you the link. Do you want to play it? Anyway, it's not really a big deal. Okay, so here's the thing. I actually said in my monologue in the beginning, I just don't understand why Jimmy keeps bringing these. I mean, we did it. Derek Crow was on here, but the thing is it's almost like he's told to bring these people on that I don't think are going to, I think he knows they're part of that mechanism of the two-party oligarchy. I think he knows they're just the prelude to the party of corruption, which is now the DMC. I think he knows that, but he's just, getting people on and getting views and whatever. It just doesn't make sense. It's like we're going in the wrong direction, and Jimmy's kind of following that direction.
I hate it too.
Yeah.
Definitely doesn't hold.
I think that Jimmy's I don't think that he's hurting anybody because he's constantly talking about being pissed at Jimmy or Bernie for doing that. Like Jimmy, I think the reason Jimmy was having them on is to show that he's willing to give them a chance, because and then whenever they don't show up, and they don't actually do what they say they're going to, then he can be like, see, I gave them a chance and they failed us, and
yeah,
so he can.
I fully agree with that. I fully agree with that. That's perfect.
But if you support it in any way,
but you're giving them airtime.
Yeah, you're doing too much damage to what's going on, because people don't see you as a valid anymore. It's like it's hard to watch them. It's hard to watch certain people once you know that there's a limit to what they stand for. Once they reach this limit to Jank or TYT's name or Bernie with Hillary Clinton or DNC, that's it.
Yeah.
You can't expect any more out of them, and that's.
Hey, you know what? I want to play this because I'm understanding what Lucas is saying, and I fully understand what you're saying, Chad. But let's just see it from the perspective of this, and the perspective of let's give them their own rope to fucking hang themselves. If they want to come on, if Jank wants me to bring on this Justice Democrat or this Democrat or whatever I got to do to fucking be a part of the fucking cult, whatever, come on in, and I'll let them shit on themselves. And in this particular situation, I really believe she just kind of threw out a little Pandora's box on Donna Brazile. I mean, why would you even bring that up after she said the shit that she said during the Unity Reform Commission? Naomi Conk said, which makes sense. Yes, they're all fucked up. We know that. And then she cussed and everything. And then saying that, Lucas, can you play it, or do you want to play it? Do you mind?
That?
Who wants to play this? Just play it. It's like the first 3 minutes.
You want me to share it?
Yeah. Do you mind?
Yeah, put it in the thing.
Thanks, man. Okay, so yeah, it's just and you'll just see the look on her face,
like oh shit!
I just fucking said that Donna texted me.
Yeah.
And I just said that she said that the box is cracked wide open. I mean, that has to pose a question in some. It's like if I was like right there and I was next to Jimmy, I'd go, wait. I know this is your guest, but what does that mean that the box is wide open? What Naomi Conks? What do you think Donna is saying? What does that entail? What is he really trying to get to when she's saying all that? When she's saying that phrase, and then she would say, "Oh, I don't know." Well, then we need to ask Donna. Why don't you ask Donna? You just had a fucking nice little chit chat interview with her just the other day. You guys are all palsy wowsies now. All your shit is just like mine, dude. Got to turn the volume or something.
Yeah, Jimmy's face. He doesn't look like he's happy about that.
He does. He's just like going, yeah. Can you go back? You got to turn the volume or something. Can you hear it on your end, dude?
I know I can't.
I think it has to be the person who's hosting, doesn't it?
Well, I can get it on YouTube, no problem. If you guys can watch YouTube, I can put it on the YouTube. But I can't, with this program, I can't put it on Zoom.
The treasurer didn't go to them.
There you go.
How can How is that possible that the chair?
Go all the way back. All the way back. All the way back. All the way back. Go back more. Go back more.
Because Hillary, they weren't going to her.
Back. There you go.
I
Let's
think
start.
that, I know you challenged Donna Brazile, but I got a text message from Donna Brazile when it was all happening, and she said, "It's been cracked open. There's no turning back." And I think that's actually true. One thing I learned about Donna Brazile that
They're right there. I mean, what is that?
She looked away.
And then she's like, when you look up to the right, it's like a sign of lying. I've studied this shit. Trust me. But she kind of looked up, searching for something to change the subject. But what happened there is she's like, oh fuck, I just opened up a little Pandora's box.
Look at Jimmy's face. Look at Jimmy's face.
Jimmy's like, ooh, that was kind of spicy. That was a little spicy.
He's trying to figure out what that means.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I also feel like we might be, turning into those, so-called like body language experts who like overanalyze every single movement.
No, you can do that.
But I mean, the words are right there. The words. She got a text from Donna Brazile. It's cracked wide open, man.
So they're giving an interview. So Jimmy interviews Donna Brazile. Did we see that yet? Did you guys watch that?
Did she? When?
Does that matter what she's saying?
No.
but I got a text message from Donna Brazile when it was all happening, and she said,
"Commission." So do you think this is a real revolution?
She was saying something about when somebody was interviewing and then.
No, Naomi Const interviewed Donna Brazile just a little while ago, like about 3 or 4 days ago.
Revolution inside the Democrat.
She said, "It's so," but I got a text message. I think that, I know you challenged Donna Brazile, but I got a text message from Donna Brazile when it was all happening, and she said, "It's been cracked open. There's no turning back."
What?
She's talking
he raised his eyebrows.
She's talking about Jimmy Dore challenged
Donna Brazile.
Yeah. So where is that though? Like, where did he challenge her, Donna Brazile? Because that's what it looks like.
About a week ago.
That's what I'm saying. Did Jimmy Dore interview her, or he just did?
No, he's done a lot of skits, making Donna Brazile seem like a fucking moron, which she is. But the thing is, but Naomi Const did an interview, and they got really tight and friendly. I watched some of it. But the thing is that's exposing something. Is it just me? Because it's exposing. If let's just say, for example, I'm in a hearing and somebody says, "So what exactly happened during your communication with Miss Brazile?" Well, she got a text from me and she said it's cracked wide open. Your Honor, can we pause for a second? What do you mean cracked wide open? Could you give me some specifics on that? What do you think she was saying? And maybe we need to summon her or subpoena her to give us her interpretation or her definition of what that meant. It's huge.
They seem very, very chummy too, like very chummy.
Yeah.
I mean, they're obviously using TYT as a vehicle to try to reach, the progressive or liberals, because
that's been happening for a while.
Well, I mean, of course, but I mean, it just so clear. I mean, she just isn't. I don't know. She doesn't seem genuine to me. She seems like she's going to go wherever the money comes. To me,
she's been around it for a while.
Or power, or, I mean, she's smart about it, but.
No, she knows. This girl knows how to work it.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
I think she's that whole thing is hurting. I mean, TYT's brand is just.
Yeah, it's going. They don't even see it. I don't think they realize it. Jank was on the Jimmy Dore show a couple days ago when they were watching some senator talk about how poor he was. He was with the poor people or something. The poor. It was fucking. These people are so out of touch. I gotta fucking. Let me see if I can find it. It's fucking hilarious. This guy fucking. Oh my God, it's terrible. Just totally out of touch, and Jimmy's just tearing this guy up. And they're everywhere. They're all over all over Congress. These guys that just, they truly and absolutely, his millionaire rips poor kids as lazy moochers. That's the one. It was 2 days ago. And then Jank was there for a couple of those episodes. Hey, Snort, can you play this?
Well, it's a good selling point, but we know companies don't just give away
What's that?
higher wages.
Do you mind playing this? Because his is breaking up a lot and we're watching it.
Corporations are sitting on a lot of
Sure,
money.
give me the link and I'll.
Do you mind?
So just spare us.
And just
No, I don't mind at all.
and then
Give me the link, I'll play it.
started at the 42nd point.
42nd point.
I'm going to send it to you right here. Here you go. Because I think because of his phone, it breaks up a lot. Just get it at the 42nd point.
Am I missing it?
No, it's. Oh, I sent it to Sir Chad. No. Sorry, my bad. I'm sending it to everybody, but you'll see it. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay, so Chad, let Chad please let Snort pull this up. I think it might, because I don't know about you guys, but when Sir Chad was playing, it was kind of breaking up a little bit.
I think that's what poor people say all the time.
Just got to finish the
poor people.
At the 40-second mark.
I definitely grew up in the
I just had to get through the commercial.
Okay, when you can. Thank you.
I can tell you that the poor people are.
No, these people, Republican and Democrat, they just keep tripping over their own fucking feet all the time. It's just insane. I just see it's just constantly. We have buffoons and out of touch people. It's just such a fiasco. I mean, if you're in another country watching us, it's like comedy. You're just eating popcorn. And all the family it's like watching The Simpsons, It's like watching The Simpsons in real life, but at a very large scale. Just a bunch of fucking morons, running a country that's going to the shits, to the toilets.
Going down the shitter for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I feel like Homer is president, except instead of donuts, it's Diet Coke.
Exactly.
Is it popping up?
I got something on the screen.
We see your desktop. Jesus Christ.
Oops. Did I share the wrong screen?
No, you're sharing the wrong screen, I think.
Lots of shortcuts.
Uh-huh.
You guys don't want to see what my screen looks like. My desktop is it's a fucking headache. Looks like my room.
Well, do you remember in Jimmy Dore's old videos, whenever you could see his desktop?
Oh, yeah. I watched a couple of those. Yeah, right there. Let's see if the sound will go on.
Getting a lot of profits now. I don't see wages going up. So just spare us the bank shots, spare us the sarcasm and the satire, and let's go.
Spare it, but I'm going to just say to you that I come from the poor people.
Oh my God! Doesn't even know how to say it. Oh my God! I come from you filthy people. I know your dumb filthness, and I understand it. My limousine drove over your children. I knew.
I mean, I still fly coach on occasion. I sit with the animals.
I think that's what poor people say all the time. I come from the poor people.
The poor people.
I definitely grew up in the poor people, and I can tell you that the poor people are the struggle was the real.
And I've been here working my whole stinking career.
I'm sorry. Poor people don't talk like that. My fucking career is what they would say. My fucking scumbag career. That's how poor people talk.
The poor people.
The poor people.
I have been enduring $2,500 suits and working in this job where every day it's like, which kickback am I going to take? And I just can't handle it anymore. Paying the poor person to dig a hole for my money, and you, sir, I take great umbrage at this.
Once I had to have penne instead of fuselli.
Hey, by the way, Snark, just put a pause for a second, Snark. Pause.
I really resent anybody saying that I'm.
Pause. Thank you. So just want to let everybody know, Graham on the left there. Graham, what's Graham's last name again? Elwood. Stevie from Red Economics had a great guest interview thing with Graham just 2 days ago. Okay, that's what happened. This guy's fucking totally cool. He's
awesome.
He's fucking he's super cool. He really gets it. He fully gets it.
Yes, we should have him on here sometime.
I think we're this close from having Graham on here. I think we're this close.
Am I muted?
You're there. Snort, go ahead.
I will be on there shortly.
You're going to the
on Graham's show?
Yes.
Cool.
That's freaking awesome.
But we're supposed to go, right? You're supposed to tell me when you get here so we can go, right?
Yeah. It's not going to be very long.
Their last show is on the 18th of this. Just letting you know. Of this for this season, I guess. Okay. Well, anyway, we're going to the show. That's all I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
Winkle goes all the time. Bernie Winkle Bernie bro. He goes all the time.
He has a show in February. That's probably when I'll be there.
Okay, yeah, it's fine. I'm not in a big rush. I can watch it on YouTube.
I meant that I will be doing an interview with him next week.
With who?
Graham Elwood.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Jimmy Dore. I was like, okay. All right. So yeah, that's cool. So you'll be that's awesome. That's awesome.
And so I just thought I'd let that slip out.
That's perfect.
Because of my father, I couldn't plan it until today.
Are we gonna be able to watch it live?
I want to have an interview with that big old fat guy.
We can do like a live watching party if you let us know when it's gonna be.
Wait, James, do you mean Eddie or Jake?
The guy to Graham's left. I didn't like that guy at first, but now he's totally growing on me.
Oh, Eddie Pepitone. Yeah, he's hilarious.
Yeah, he's just really knocks it out of the park sometimes.
Yeah,
but I gotta tell you something. I'm watching this, and Jake looks a little uncomfortable at times. Is it just me?
But I think that's just like part of his personality, though. Is he always looks uncomfortable? Like I don't think that he necessarily is. He just
doesn't seem loose. Like going with it, man. Just fucking go get that guy a fucking beer. Jesus Christ!
But I think that's also just part of his personality. Like I think that unless he was on weed all the time, he would never like have fun.
Sir Chad, could you mail this guy a blunt, please? Because he needs to smoke now.
Also,
and then send me one while you're at it.
I think he looks pissed in the place where I haven't stopped.
I know. He looks like he's a little uncomfortable.
Well, yeah, my daughter is like that.
He's in a real room full of real progressives. Like, he probably is uncomfortable. He should be uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Like a little...
But look at Steph in that picture. She looks like she is just like, yes.
She's like, she looks uncomfortable, too.
Well, you get people in moments. You never know. All right.
Yeah.
So...
Wait, it's paused. Like Graham looks determined in that picture.
Was interesting. Yeah, totally right. Graham's just like, I've never seen Graham look so fucking serious. But anyway, so this guy, okay, fucking Hatch. That's Warren Hatch, right?
Orrin, yeah.
Orrin Hatch, whatever. He is so fucking out of touch. And they're everywhere. They fill up our fucking halls. And they're just so completely in a different space and time. And it's just amazing that it's baffling to me that they're fucking still sitting in these chairs. It's just baffling to me. That's all. It's crazy. Crazy to me.
And I'm just darn tired of it. I'm just dang near your cigarette.
Let's listen to the rest. Let's listen to some more. This is good. just darn tired of it.
Doing this for the rich. Give me a break. I think you guys overplay that all the time, and it gets old. And frankly, you ought to quit it.
Mr. Chairman, the public
Wait a minute,
believes it.
just I'm not through. I get kind of sick and tired of it. True, it's a nice political play.
Well, Mr.
But
Chairman,
it's not true.
with all due respect, I get sick and tired of the richest people
Regular
in the
order,
country
Mr. Chairman.
getting richer and
Regular order.
Regular middle. We do a tax
Regular order.
middle class
Wait a minute.
Regular order.
and over again. How many times do we do this before we learn?
Someone saying something honest and true. Talk over him. Talk. You cannot say a fact. Talk over him.
We told you truth is not allowed in this chamber.
You're out of order. Out of order. Truth is out of order.
No more democracy. No more democracy.
Dang, dang.
By the way, that sums up their whole policy, right? Is to just say things stridently.
Yes.
And just don't, you know.
Be indignant while you say,
indignant.
while you lie. Yeah.
Be indignant while you lie is the summation of
Hey,
the entire policy.
I come from the poor people, which makes it extra horrible that I'm fucking them over, right? But if I say it like this, it seems like I really have a point.
And people buy it. They buy it.
That's right. That's exactly what he's doing.
How many times do we do this before we learn this, Mr. Chairman?
Listen, I've honored you by allowing you to spout off here.
I allowed you to spout off here and tell me about the people who are dying because of the shit we're doing.
Oh, fuck.
Dude, that's
There should be.
Go ahead, take it off. Thank you, Snorri. Thank you, Snorri.
I've honored you.
Sorry.
That's all right, bro, but thank you. Go ahead, Stevie. That was
I'm
awesome.
going to be canceling.
that's how you know that he's not from the poor people, is because he sits there and talks and he gets so. Have you ever talked to a poor person that could be that indignant, that felt that entitled, that, you know, I gave you the right to speak? No poor person has that much authority. You know, like, we don't talk like that. And I like with that
from
one
the
comedian
poor,
said,
and I honor you.
Yeah, I honored you. Yeah. No poor person talks like that entitled.
Oh my god. It's fucking hilarious. They're just everywhere. I can't believe, and there's Democrats just like that. They act just like that. They may be a little more in touch, but they just the role they play. And look, I am gonna say right now, I believe there are some genuine, very ethical, very they have a lot of there's some empathetic, I guess that's the word you use, of some that have morals, and they have dignity, and they have scruples, and they have folkways and norms, and they're really good, and they're really nice. I believe there are a few Democrats out there, but not enough to change the fucking mafia party that they're in. That's
Well, here I know how we can.
How do we weed them out?
I know how we can fix all of politics. All right, I'll show you guys.
Okay, show it to me, bro. While I have my fortune cookie.
You guys see it?
Oh, that's the cure-all right there, my brother. It's a fucking guillotine, man. Oh, what? There's
any guillotine. It's a guillotine that can fit up to 15 congressmen at the same time.
Oh my god, look at the little head things. You can put a head in there, and 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 a head in there.
I love the name of it, Mega Guillotine.
I love that. Oh, that would be a great name of a band. Mega Guillotine. Fucking kill Congress, you son of a bitches. Get in my guillotine. You know, anyway.
Look for the one for a rotary guillotine.
What?
It has a higher throughput.
Oh, well, this one I just saw because the guy filed a patent for it today on Twitter.
Oh.
Yeah, sending a warning through the Library of Congress.
Send that on
That's you have to file
on the letterhead.
Right? Isn't that who you have to file a patent with? Isn't it with the Library of Congress, or is that with a different government organization? Or is that the patent office? There's the patent office in the Library of Congress. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Are you looking it up, a rotary guillotine?
I will now.
Oh, okay. They're just combined like a weed whacker, like a grass
in
hog.
the past, the ones that they used for chickens was, and then they found out that they have a rotating one. That way, you're putting the chicken in place, and the chicken rotates around and gets its head cut off while the next one's being put on, and you don't have that delay, so it's constant and you go faster.
Lucas, add chicken.
Well,
I might have the term wrong. They might not call it a guillotine.
Yeah, they don't call it a guillotine because whenever I looked online and I put guillotine, it showed
it's a chicken head sever.
It shows the paper cutters like you'd see in art class.
Yeah, don't they just like hang them up by their feet on like a conveyor belt, and then there's just the blade, and they just run over that and just
Gives off.
And a lot of times they don't keep the blade sharp, and that's why it's so like horrible for the chickens. Is because you can imagine it's just a slow.
Yeah, that dull blade can really be a bummer.
I mean, like if you're going to kill an animal, the least you can do is like give them like a quick death. You know.
Well, it depends on what kind of animal you're talking about. Are you talking about a chicken or a congressman?
A congressman. There's a difference. Now, for a congressman,
congressman,
I'd use use a stone blade, made out of like really coarse granite. Oh, it's taking so long.
I think a glass house, somehow a glass house, lose their privacy forever.
Oh, I like Matt Helectra's idea. He said a pizza cutter concept would be cheaper.
That's a good one. They got all kinds of interesting fucking cutting tools. Yeah, the ones where they're skinned and they just go across the machine and they just cut them right off. Doop, 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 doop. Kentucky Fried Chicken. Wow, we're fucking brutal, man. What a
yeah.
We are an amazingly. I mean, I'm not even gonna get into it. All right, listen, guys, I'm about to head out.
All right.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Got to get moving and a grooving. I apologize.
I didn't. Hold on, I got one thing to show you.
Let's see it first.
All right, so whenever I clicked on a Raw story link today because it was about how Nazis are harassing Heather Hayer's mom, and she had to keep the.
Go ahead. I'll be back. I'll be back in about 5-10 minutes. Go ahead, man.
Well, this is just an ad that was up on the website, and I want you to look at who paid for this ad, and that will tell us where the Democrats' money is going right now.
Oh.
Look at that ad.
Michelle,
and then look at what it says it's paid for. Do you see it?
Oh, paid for by the OCCC.
Oh, wow.
No, that's the DCCC.
Oh, the DCCC.
That's the DCCC.
Oh my God. Okay.
So even now they're wasting money on ads telling us to wish Michelle Obama a happy birthday.
Is that an old? Well, here's the thing. That's everywhere. Like I said during the general campaign, the marketing firms that worked for the DNC, they got 10%. They made over $200 million. $200 million. How long was that campaign for? A few months. Am I right? How long was it for? So what I'm saying, but they're paying this person, that person. They're paying for paraphernalia and papers and pamphlets and all this other stuff. They got to pay this, but there are people making money.
Well, and they don't do this stuff. I mean, it's not some frivolous thing. I mean, it's either to suck up to Michelle Obama, gain some favor with her, or, they could be doing it just to make her feel more familiar, like, oh, like you wish your friends and your family happy birthday, and that way it makes her feel like a closer kind of a, instead of a distant politician on a hill somewhere. Oh, she's Michelle, I wished her happy birthday. So it's like one of those things that just kind of, they play these mind games. I mean, it's very calculated. They're not just gonna waste money on this kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
I think it's worse. I've been seeing these for a while, not just there, but other Michelle poppings. Obama got some kind of deal, and I think in order for Hillary to get her deal, I think that Michelle might be in line to run for one of the offices.
Holy shit! That
I've heard that idea floated a few times, well, more than a few times.
Something we need to address too with people going in is we have to make it where husband and wives can't run. I don't think that's right. And I think certain family members like the Kennedys, all the Clintons, Obama, none of them are able. They should be banned, barred from politics forever. Their whole family for what they've done. It all seems fair.
Oh yeah, I see it big time here. It's like the children of the people that fucked it up a generation ago. Now their kids are here now messing everything up. It's like, it gets worse. In each generation, it gets worse and worse. Like the stuff that they're doing.
Sorry. Conyers is trying to have his son replace him.
Who is it? Who is?
One of the congressmen that had to resign because of his sexual allegations.
I see.
He wants to have his son replace him.
So it keeps all the power structure and stuff in play.
Well, there's a senator here, Blair, and his daughter ran, and she had just turned 18. So it's him and his daughter, and it's like she's like spouting off all this anti-woman, anti-abortion, pro-military, very right-wing, bullcrap. And I'm like, you're only 18 years old. And you've got like this much ugliness in your head. Like it's just, it blows my mind. But that this girl was trained. I mean, her dad is, a senator. She was trained and she was put in there. I mean, she's just another vote. He just basically bought another vote with her. I mean, oh God, it blows my mind.
Did you guys see the link I just put in the chat?
Oh, yeah, I do see it. All I need to see is the title in that and to know what it is.
Yeah,
wow.
I started reading it. My uncle had sent it to me a couple weeks back, and I didn't think about it until Snork brought it up. And it's crazy reading this article because it makes it seem like it's a lot more likely than I previously thought.
We're on track. People are waking up, and it's accelerating too. That's the whole thing. Especially with net neutrality. I mean, it should be a utility, and it needs to be obviously open and free. But it's like you got to have that straw that breaks the camel's back to give people a real reason to fight. Sometimes it's like, they get too greedy and push too far, and then that's when people actually push back, rather than some want to maintain the status quo, and then some, they want to keep pushing as much.
It's gonna be like Michelle Obama versus Hillary Clinton versus Dwayne Johnson versus Kanye West versus Mark Zuckerberg versus Bernie Sanders versus Donald Trump versus whoever else is running. Like, there's so many people that
Trump versus Kid Rock.
Yeah.
I'm gonna run.
Well, so I remember someone was saying that Sam Ronan should run for president on the Republican ticket in 2020. I mean, that's what Bernie should do. Bernie should just run as a Republican in 2020, because then we know he could actually win the primary and it won't be rigged. Because I mean, they didn't want Trump to win. Trump won that primary fair and square.
Well, I mean, not really. I mean, remember, he's still got all that free publicity, free airtime. They made him, they made him out to be the savior, and they pushed and fanned the flames for a certain type of demographic because they wanted to, focus.
Well, it's because he's a ratings whore. Like whenever they show him, their ratings went up. That was the main reason they covered him a lot. And it's funny because they recently did a study and they found that every single time they covered Donald Trump, half the time it was about his policies and like what and like the crazy things he said and did or was accused of, and like half the time it was about his policy and half the time it was about a scandal. Whereas whenever they covered Hillary Clinton, it was always about her scandal and never about her policies. And they I don't know if it was Harvard or which school it was, but they found that during the 2016 election and like all year long, the mainstream press only ran 5 stories about Hillary Clinton's policies.
I mean, all that information, that's key. I think that's key, explaining to people what's going on, because it's so close that you can actually go back when you can map out what the media is doing, and in the real time. It's going to make it easier for people to be able to process what's going on and realize that they're being screwed over on all fronts. That if you support this narrative in any way, you're still supporting the bullshit.
Yeah, I just think it's interesting because like they did the same thing to Doug Jones that they did to Hillary, where they never ever talked about him or his policies. Like they only talked about Roy Moore during the entire Alabama Senate race, and his policies and his scandal and his controversy, and like how he's so terrible. Just like how whenever Donald Trump was running, they only talked about how he's so terrible, and like Hillary Clinton's coverage, a lot of it was favorable as far as like MSNBC and that goes, but it was like they talked about her as if they liked her, but they only talked about the things that she had scandals on, which was weird. And like I'm not saying that she had it bad or anything anything. Like I don't feel sorry for her at all, but like it's funny because the media that was in the tank for her, and supposedly was supporting her, did her like one of the biggest disservices in 2016.
Man, that thing on Michelle that you posted, I read through that whole thing, and it's enough to send me into anxiety. Ugh.
I don't think she'd make it though. Like I think that if she ran, I don't know. I mean, like they might try it, but I don't think that she'd make it because I think
we never thought Trump would make it. Yeah. We never thought Trump would make it.
I think we just got a new person. I think we have a new person who joined our chat tonight. They might want to introduce themselves.
Huge.
You're funnier than shit.
Alrighty, so I want to introduce you to this thing called Talkspace. And like, say you're a guy, right? And you recently became president of a country, and you are getting a lot of bad press, from like all these scandals and everything, and your dad was in the Klan, so you have like, you were raised by a racist, and you always, whenever you would go to your casinos, you always made, black people go downstairs, and you have like a problem with groping women, and you're also dropping bombs on other countries and expanding wars. Well, if that's you, that can cause some serious, mental problems. So there's this thing called Talkspace that you can go to, and you can get, you can speak to a therapist 24/7, phone call, text message, email, whatever. And, everyone there has over 3,000 hours of supervised training. and they'll help you out. And I don't think anybody in here just got what I was referencing, but that's okay. Did any of you guys get my reference? No. Well, the ad that I was just doing there for Talkspace was a reference to the dollop. Like over a year ago, on the dollop, they started doing ads for Talkspace, and then whenever Donald Trump was running for president, or maybe it was after break, maybe it was right when he became president, every single time they did a Talkspace ad, they would, like, Dave Anthony would basically make it so it was all about Donald Trump, but would like say it wasn't. So he'd be like, say you're a guy, right? And he basically made this situation that's super duper specific to Donald Trump, but act like he wasn't talking about Donald Trump. And and then he'd be like, and if that happens to you, then Talkspace is the place for you. And that was like how he did introduce his Talkspace ad. And now it's become such a big thing, like as far as like the ads go for that podcast, that if you want to get a T-shirt, one of the official Dollop podcast T-shirts is a silhouette of Donald Trump that says "Say you're a guy." It's pretty funny. It's if you listen to the podcast, or if you listen to it as long as I have, it's pretty long running joke. I love that. It's pretty good.
I think I've only seen like the first maybe 15 episodes of the Dollop. It's so good. It's hilarious, and you learn so much from it too.
Yeah, you should definitely listen to the two-parter they did about Donald Trump for the 300th episode, because it's informative. Like, we do have a monster as president, whether we like to admit it or not. And also,
go ahead and head out. It's getting kind of late.
All right, night, everybody.
See y'all later.
Okay, love you.
Yeah, I'm not sure I could take over as host.
No, that's.
I could. I mean, if it's okay, if all you got to do is hand me the thing, I could take it for a while if anybody else wants to stay on.
I think I probably should go to bed. I have to work tomorrow.
Snark.
Okay.
Yeah, probably I should too.
Snark.
Uh-huh.
You are host. I made you host. Remember? So I'm asking. Right. I asked you to pass host back so I can. Oh, so hey, Sir. So what's interesting is Sir Chad always puts the his wonderful mask on. Do you like Trump?
Me?
Yeah.
No. Not at all.
That didn't sound like a no, honey.
He wears it all the time. Like, did he vote for Trump?
Not at all.
Okay, good. I was like, whoa.
No, you should get one of those president masks, or like politician masks, like the actual like latex masks, like the ones that are like super weird looking. Like you should get like one of the ones that like Hillary Clinton just wear.
I want to wear a Reagan one. Remember? What was that one? All the dead presidents or something. I think they used that in the movie Point Break.
And also in The Chaperone, but in The Chaperone they kind of make fun of it, and like one of them is wearing a W. Bush mask, another of them's wearing a Cheney mask, and the third guy is wearing a Condoleezza Rice mask. And so they go in to rob a bank, and the bank teller sees the guy in the Condoleezza Rice mask, and she just dies laughing. And he's like, "What the frick are you laughing at?" And she's like, "You're wearing Condoleezza Rice. You have to have a sense of humor, right?"
Oh yeah. All right, guys, I'm gonna go. Okay, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. Good seeing you, Lucas. Good stuff. Thank you, Snork. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Chad, for being here, brother. Oh, wait. All right. All right, so, as I said, they don't care about you. George Carlin said it. They don't. I mean, this guy brushed. You've got to understand. Hold on, this is important for everybody to know. George Carlin mingled with some pretty high people in some high places. He was kind of a conformist in a sense when his career first started. Batman, anyway, and he was in the middle of a lot of things. So this guy actually, from what I could tell, from my opinion, and from my perspective, he was in it. He saw it. He was around it. He kind of, just started to understand it. He was close to this insanity, and he heard these words and he noticed these people. He was at large events with some major players out there, and he started piecing together a lot of information, and he came to the conclusion that these people, both parties, they don't care about you. He said it. They don't. So I just truly believe they just don't give a shit, and they're so out of touch, and Nominski Konkst, I do think she kind of opened up a little Pandora's box there. What exactly is that text about? Cracked wide open. What's cracked wide open? That they're fucking bunch of criminals? I mean, is that what you want to be a part of? So if you're leaning towards being a Democrat, or you're a Democrat, and you truly believe that your party right now is looking out for you and for your best interests, I don't see it. I really don't see it. Now I know George Carlin had nothing to do with fucking Batman, dude. But I'm sure he hung out with Adam West a few times, right? Maybe. Adam West was in some strange shit. He played Batman back in the 60s, I think. But anyway, you guys kind of get where I'm coming from. I mean, everybody's thinking the same thing. Most of the people that go watch Jimmy Dore know that it's just a two-party oligarchy, right? And by the way, there's a Batman t-shirt out now with slightly different artwork. Thank you, Snark. That's good to know. That's probably a shirt I should be wearing. Yeah, so I don't even know what I'm fucking anymore. Rebel, come on, man. You're a cool chick. Keep being cool. Keep being around, hang around. I know it's crazy and I know it's nuts and I know it's wrong, but I am going to do whatever I can to try to fix all this, I don't know if I'll have much influence on much, but I think with all of your help, and I'm not kidding, I mean all of your help, it's totally needed and necessary. Everybody has a purpose, and I think your purpose is being a part of this team, and I think we're a team. Everybody that comes on here. Lucas has some great stuff. Sir Chad's got some great stuff. Snork's got some great stuff. Rebel's got some good stuff. Dominic's got some good stuff. Eric's got some good stuff. We're missing a few people. I wish Ariel would come back. I've asked her, but she's got some things going on. Kelly, I miss her. Had some good stuff too. Amy, I don't know where you're at. It was good having you on. And a few others out there. Of course, Garden Gnome, Independent Outsider that comes on here every once in a while. The list of names, and of course all of the people in the galley, in the live chat. Rebel, Jenny, Angel Tibbs, Air Force Max, and some new people out there that were just fantastic. A new person, Matt, I think Matt's been in here a few times. And then Jake's around also, Winkle, Bernie Bro. I mean, my list can go on and on. If I forgot your name, if I missed it, I apologize. And of course, our favorite, the one and only Stevie from Red Economics. Fantastic girl. But in a nutshell, it's this simple. I think we can make a difference. I've got things lined up, guys, and I'm going to do whatever I can to try to get this other party to squeeze in, and hopefully at some point, wedge them in into the House. Maybe 1 or 2 in the Senate. You know, you never know. It could work. Anyway, thank you all for coming on. It's been an interesting day. I rest in peace, internet. You know, or RIP. Rest in peace. Wow. So they're appealing it, but Jesus Christ. Good night, Jenny Lynn. Good night, everybody. All right. Aloha. Whew. What a day, man. Oh, God. This guy, Ajit Pai, if I ever saw him, like if he was in range of me, I can't really tell you what would happen. All I can say is it wouldn't be good. Wouldn't be good. He'd wish he'd had a guillotine. Right? Aloha all. Aloha. Take